right, we got Rick Ferran, my man Tank, back in the building. Uncle Sam's misguided children, and all kinds of new stuff going on. Thank you for coming down. I appreciate the time.
Thank you, Tommy, so much for everything, bro. So much for, just being here. It's another honor to be here the second time, brother. You're one of those gentleman guys, you know what I mean, that I appreciate you just reaching out and say, hey, man, have you come to my show? So I'm just nothing but honored to be here, bro, and be part of this show.
And thank you for coming, because you came like the first 3 months I was doing it.
Yeah.
Nobody was watching me. I was just trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing. Nothing big, But we had a good time, and I appreciate you coming.
I appreciate it,
I'm
man.
Just some peanut on the fucking side of the road,
Yeah, no. Take. I told Tig, man, you got to have a show with this Tommy, man. I'm telling you, man.
So you started a podcast, huh? Yeah. So what made you start the podcast?
Well, I have had a podcast for a long time. I actually had actually internet radio back in 2010, 2011. I was one of the first ones to have an internet radio, and with licenses and everything. I actually interviewed Dinesh D'Souza. I don't know if you know Dinesh D'Souza. Yeah, sorry guys.
That's okay. That's all right.
So you ever heard of Dinesh D'Souza? Mm-hmm. Oh, you gotta check him out, man.
All right, so who is that?
He has written he has produced several documentaries. So he just produced another documentary right now. But like America Without You. I mean, it's full of information, like how this country, how the United States was developed, and the history about the Nazis, and that whole thing about the party switch, right?
Yeah.
Full of real factual information, slavery, stuff like that. So, anyways, Dinesh D'Souza, the Obama administration went after him, and they found something on him, and they ended up giving him jail time. And so during that period of time, I ended up having him on my show a couple of times. Alan West, you ever seen the movie Machine Gun Preacher?
Yeah.
All right, I interview him, the actual machine gun preacher. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it here. So it's called Uncle Sam's Nation Podcast.
Yeah, so this is before this. This is before the podcast, that the Apple and all that crap. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is before all that. So then some people asked me to come back, and then I started all over again.
And then you got that on Apple. You got an Apple podcast.
We have Apple podcast on our website, mostly in our website.
And then when I saw your website, I was like, "Wow, this is really different now."
Yeah.
So what made you change this all up? Because before it was good, but I mean, it's completely different and great articles.
Well, yeah. Well, it's been taken down so many times, man. Our website been taken down. Our store been taken down so many times. Eventually you learn to adapt. You know what I mean?
They took down your store?
Oh, man. They're taking on my PayPal, bro. Frozen my PayPal, my bank accounts, man. They went after me hard, bro.
I would love to tell you that I'm shocked, but I'm not. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they went after me hard, It is what it is.
So when they hit you, they knock you down, you build all the way, and you just start all over.
I start all over. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I don't give a fuck, man.
But you never give up.
I don't give a fuck, bro. You tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna do it. You tell me I can't talk, I'm gonna talk. Like, I don't give a fuck about these motherfuckers, man. I'll just be honest with you. You know, like the more they push me. Look, I grew up in a communist country, full of censorship and full of bullshit, and I escaped that to come to America. Became a Marine at 17, and I gotta sit here and tell some schmuck to fucking tell me that I can't say what I want to say.
It's crazy.
Fuck off. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to say what I want to say. And especially if I'm building my own platform. You don't have to listen to. You can go fuck away. But you know why? These guys are they're like flies on a wall, on a mirror. They just keep on licking on the wall.
This podcast is brought to you by Monster Energy. Tear into a can of the meanest energy drink on the planet. Monster Energy. It's the ideal combo of the right ingredients in the right proportion to deliver a big bad buzz that only Monster can. Monster packs a powerful punch, has a smooth, easy drinking flavor. Athletes, musicians, co-eds, road warriors, metalheads, geeks, hipsters, and bikers dig it. You will too. Monster Energy is more than just the green OG. Monster has Monster Ultra, Juice Monster, Monster Hydro, Rehab Monster, Dragon Tea, Monster Max, Muscle Monster, and many more. Buy on Amazon, buy on Walmart, or go to monsterenergy.com and believe me, you'll find a place. Unleash the beast. Monster Energy. And it's crazy because half the shit isn't even bad.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's it's a free country, right?
Right.
Okay, so if it's a free country and you're doing it, like you said, and I've been saying this for the last 6, 7, 8 months when this whole thing started, it's very simple. If you don't like it, just click. Just like the people that leave comments and shit.
Yeah.
Well, are you that bored that you got that much time to leave a comment? If you don't like it, just fucking don't watch it. You don't need to go bury somebody because you don't like them.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? While you're sitting in your nut huggers playing with your balls and your Budweiser, getting fat.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Say it to my face.
Exactly.
Say it to Tank's face.
Right. You know, and that's what I tell them. I say, hey, man, you know, come find me, you know. And I even tell them I'm going to be at this gun show this weekend. Why don't you come look for me? You know, why don't you tell me exactly what you just said on the internet to come tell me, you know.
And we'll handle and go have dinner.
Yeah, that's not old school shit. You know, the old school shit. We grew up on the old school shit. These motherfuckers ain't about that life. You know what I mean? They're not.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I had John. Do you know John Rourke?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in 2 days ago. He
Cool.
was on Hannah and he went and cleaned up all that trash in Texas and Baltimore, Maryland.
Awesome.
And he was raised like us, you know. We were like when we were growing up, if you got in a fight, your dad beat your ass when you got home.
That's it. Yeah.
And if you got in a fight with one of your boys or your friends or whatever, you fight and then you go have dinner and it's over.
Yeah.
Nowadays you end up in jail or you shoot. It's crazy.
It's crazy, man.
So the one thing I never realized the last time you were in is that you survived communism.
Right.
And I don't think the people that don't know understand really what communism is.
Right.
And I don't because I didn't go through it.
Right.
So what to you, being that you literally went through it and survived it, what is communism to you?
That's a great question, Tommy. And it's great that you're asking that question because a lot of people are have a misconception of what the book theory of communism, socialism is to what is actually communism, you know? So, and I go socialism too. So I'll put those between because when you say, well, when you bring those two up, they say, well, socialism and communism are not the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to break it down for you. Right.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
It's literally a entity who takes over everything and does everything for you. So you as an individual, you're not individual anymore. You're part of the society. And the big entity, the government, whatever that be, a dictator, whatever that be, he's going to do everything for you, including wiping your own ass if you need to. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to give you food. They're going to give you a job. They're going to give you a shelter over your head. So what does that sound to you, right? They give you... What does that sound to you exactly? Section 8, right? Welfare, you know, these socialist programs, right? Everything's given to you, but you got to get something back. They don't just give it to you for free. Everything has a price. And you know nothing in life is free.
What's the catch?
We grew up with that idea, right? You don't get to start your business. You don't get to start any business whatsoever. And if you do get to start a business, you're going to pay a level of tax that is impossible for you to even succeed, for you to even grow. So they control everything. At the end of the day, they control all the policies. So I'm going to give you an example. So Nazi Germany, they're called National Socialist. The Russian government under Stalin, they were communist, right? The only reason these two groups ended up fighting each other was competition, nothing else, because their policies were the same. Gun control, control education, control healthcare, control corporations, everything was controlled by the government, both sides.
And they had the same policy and went at it like that?
Yeah. And they went after each other. The only difference, you know, like I saying, the Nazi were nationalist socialists. So it's the same socialist idea, only for a national state, basically for their own country. And they had the Jews doing all the work. But let's go back to slavery. Let's go back to the early days of slavery. Same thing. You get 3 meals a day if you're lucky. 2-3 meals a day. You get to work in the field. You don't get a paycheck. Guess what? I'm going to take care of you. I'm your owner. I am, a slave owner, and I'm going to feed you, clothe you, take care of your health care and all that good jazz. And if you mess up, I'm going to punish you the way I think it fits, right? The same thing goes with, communism and socialism. So at the end of the day, that's what you're looking at. And good examples of that is North Korea, China, Venezuela, Cuba. And even here in the United States, you're starting to see some implementation of those ideas when it comes to mandates, right? So their mandates are not laws, but yet people are being taken to jail or arrested for committing a crime that supposedly is a crime, but it's an unconstitutional law.
Yeah. So they say mandate, but really it's more than a mandate. They're just like band-aiding, right?
Right.
So in communism, basically they have all control and you need them. So like the way I think of it, because, you know, I build websites and all that. So if I build a website, but I make it so that only I can edit it, now you always have to come to me
Right.
to edit it, right?
Right.
You can't touch it.
Right.
And then you need me to keep it going.
Right.
I'm just kind of like thinking.
Yeah, but I'm not getting anything from it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not getting anything from the website. I couldn't change it. I'm not gonna make any money. You control the money. You control everything. Everything.
That bad?
Yeah, everything.
So
even what you post on it, even what I post on it, you control everything. You control the language that is posted on, the font that is posted on, the videos that you control everything about my life, where I have no freedom. Bottom line, at the end of the day, socialism and communism is basically no freedom. You know, and the idea, and looking at the let's go back a little bit further, right? So going back to, and this whole thing goes back to the party switch, and this is why I brought that up, is that, you know, there's also a misconception in the United States where the Democrats believe that there was a party switch, that the Republicans switched from Democrats switched from the Republicans, right? The reason I'm bringing this up is because when you look at the policies of the Democrats, have not changed. They always supported gun control. They always supported big government. They always supported, you know, socialist programs. It's all about the policies. And so forget the name Democrat for a minute. Forget that, you know, National Socialists. Forget that, you know, the Russians were communists. Just look at the policies that they implemented. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to, man. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. So now if you would have an idea, like Uncle Sam's and Scotty Show, and you want to open that up in a communist country, what do you have to do? If you want to do it and say you can't.
No, there's no way. No
way to do it.
You go to jail.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah. I mean, even if you look at history, you know, these groups I'm talking about, they destroy books, they destroy statues. What is the Democrats doing today? They're destroying statues. They're banning books. They're banning language. They're censoring. They're marking everything as misinformation, right?
So when you look at the world now, do you see communism slowly evolving into?
Oh yeah, 100%. And here in America, more so than anything else, because ignorance. See, they thrive on ignorant people, man. Uneducated individuals can't think for themselves, can't work for themselves, can't feed for themselves. You know what I mean? Can't fish for themselves. They're looking for that. They're looking for that person that's willing to get that handout and willing to sell their soul for it. You know, and that's what's happening in America
now. And how did you get out of that? How did you get out of that?
Well, it was I would say I'm blessed, man. My grandparents were actually American citizens. They own a lot of businesses in Cuba, and they were able to help my family get out. But it took some years, and my father got Rodney King 3, 4, 5 times. He almost died in one of those times. And then myself, you know, had to fight every single day leaving out of school because I was outcast. You know, like everybody saw me, the teachers saw me as an outcast, blacklisted. That, you know, my family was coming to America, and I was a traitor. My family was a traitor. So even us, you know, the children of parents who were escaping communism, they're treated as second-class citizens. Wow. So, you know, yeah. But eventually, I was able to get out. You know, 13 years old. With me, my mom, my dad, and my little sister, and got to America. So, I mean, I didn't come in a banana boat. I came here illegally, through legal means, and this is why I promote on my side, and people that know me, I promote legal immigration for that idea, because there's a lot of people, Tommy, that are sitting right now waiting online to go through the legal immigration process of the United States of America. Smart people, educated people that can come to America and assimilate to the American way of life. And we're putting those people on the side, holding them back, while we're inputting a bunch of non-vetted individuals, you know, thousands and thousands, you know, up to millions of them, with no idea what they're going to bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? Most of them have a you know, a criminal record, huge, some pedophiles, you know, murders, you know what I mean? You know, you name it, right? So, you know, but while we have these group of people that are going through the legal process who have to be vetted. So when my family had to come to the United States, even though, you know, it was going through Cuba, we were vetted like 100%. Like we couldn't have any mental disabilities. We could not have had any issues with the law. No crime I've committed. My father had not committed any crimes unless it was a political issue. And we were interviewed not only by the Cubans but also the American embassy. So
Wow,
yeah,
that far.
yeah, we went through the whole ringer of physical test to make sure there was no physical disabilities.
Oh,
You know what I'm saying? So I was not missing an eye or because and that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
That makes sense to me. If I'm coming to a country that is providing me all these things, right? Wouldn't you want to make sure that the best citizens join your society, right?
to help it,
right? You know what I mean? So yeah. And then when we got here, this is a beautiful thing about this country. And not everybody's like my dad, not everybody's like my mom, where they have this pride about themselves. And I'm sure your family comes from the same roots, right? Where they came here with nothing and then they build something with it.
Yeah, well, we came over in a banana boat.
You know,
but we became legal, and then we
yeah.
came over. My grandparents saved up, worked 3 jobs a day, and
Yeah.
then they got a motel, and then the motel turned into
Yeah.
a motel and a restaurant and all that. But I mean, they worked
Yeah.
fucking 20 hours a day, bro.
Yeah, they did. But when they did come here, they were given papers. They were, the media when they got off the boat, they were given papers,
Yeah, I was 3.
documents,
I
and
can't
whatnot.
shit.
Yeah, but what I'm going back to is the fact that so when we get here, the government, United States government, offered my father like 2-3 years of I don't know, $3,000 a month or something like that. House paid for, middle in a middle class neighborhood. They offer him like literally like the red carpet. You know what I'm saying? They do this with everybody. And my father said no. My father says no. And then, you sure? He's like, yeah, well, we need you to sign here to make sure that you don't want this. Because we don't want you to come back after a year saying that you need it, So my dad signed. He said, I got my freedom. That's all I wanted. You know what I mean?
That's how my family was too. No, I don't want nothing. I'll work.
Yeah,
I'll work.
that's right. That's right.
Glenn, what is that? Is El Salvador? What are they, communism? Or what are they over there?
We beat them.
You beat them, but they were communism, right?
Communism tried to get there. That was a civil war.
Oh shit!
We won.
Now, what would you say, Tank? If you have a, because they sound pretty similar to me. What is one big difference between socialism and communism? I can never quite grasp because it seems to like mix.
So socialism is a romantic way of putting communism.
I see.
See, I'm gonna tell you, right? So you need even Lenin said it. You need socialism to start communism. Socialism is what the kids are learning in school. Socialism is what our kids are learning in school, what they're being romanticized about. All these liberal professors are brainwashing our children and telling them that socialism is beautiful utopia. Guess what? Everybody gets along and everybody's in the same class and everybody, and there's no like rich, poor. Everybody just all happy and they all work together for the same betterment of the society. Bullshit. That's all bullshit. And so that's what it is. Socialism is the idea of romanticism of communism. Now, communism is the enforcer. So I'm going to give you an example. Obamacare. Obamacare is a socialist idea, right? Socialist healthcare.
Right.
Right? Now here comes the enforcer. You have to have socialist healthcare. And if you don't have Obamacare, guess what? You get penalized. And if you don't pay your penalties, guess what? You go to jail. That's communism.
That's communism. Right? Right. Yeah.
So you see,
Yeah.
You get that free handout. If you don't take it or whatever, for whatever reason, and you get fined and you don't pay that fine, guess what? We'll come with the enforcers to put a boot up your ass. You know what I mean?
See, that's why I knew you could explain it so good. I get it.
Yeah.
So socialism is just a band-aid for communism. Socialism is like it's on the way to communism, and they band-aided on the way there,
Right.
on the ride there.
Right.
Would you agree with that too, Glenn?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fucking crazy, man.
And here's another. I can debate liberals all day long. When we have this next time we have this show, bring a liberal that's really fond of socialism, and we would love to. I would love to have a debate because one of the rebuttals liberals say is that, well, look at Norway. Look at they bring all these European countries. You know what's funny is these countries have a very tight immigration status, right? So they don't have no military, very little military, if any. They're not involved in NATO and nothing like that. That's the United States. We are paying the piper for that, So they have this economy, that is successful, but they don't have to pay anything, for it. So they have the United States take care of them, or NATO, whatever. And that's one thing. And the other one is that most of their society is their people. They don't have multiple millions and millions of immigrants coming in every single year, into their society. Who the hell wants to live in the coal anyway? But that's basically, they are able to provide socialist program, higher socialist programs, and tax their people even higher. But here's what's funny: about 3-4 years ago, Norway was like, "Wait a minute, this is making our people lazy." And they crack down on their socialist programs and say, "Wait a minute, this is making our people lazy, man. They don't want to go to work." And their economy went down like crap. They're like, "Wait a minute, we got to change this." So they ramp up the idea of capitalism. You know what I'm saying? And so that's it right there. It will trickle. The socialist idea will trickle down in small increments, and eventually, little by little, you'll have a lot of unemployment, a lot of people unemployed. People don't know where to go. And if they protest, they go to jail. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's communism, bro. Like we are right now, like actually in America. America doesn't even, like, if you told me 10 years ago America was going to look like this, I would say no way, bro.
Me too.
There's no way, you know what I mean? And it's every single day it goes back. I'm going to give you an example, right? This government just passed a law about the $600 going to your account that has to be reported to the IRS.
Is that the Venmo and the Cash App thing and all that?
Anything, any $600, right?
Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. Look
Look about that.
it up.
Yeah,
So the bank is going to report it. It's not even you need to report.
Yeah.
The bank is going to report to the IRS.
Over $600.
Every $600 that gets put into your account, you know what I'm saying? It's going to get reported. The banks,
Wow.
the banks are part of the same scheme, right? So that's communism. That is completely,
because it used to be what, $9,999, and then I think they knocked it down to, it was like $7,900, and now it's $600.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
So stuff like that, man. It it's just the CRT, that whole re-education
Yeah.
in our schools, right? And I have to tell you something about that.
Yeah.
So I got a friend that works for the college. She works in purchasing, and she sees this all day long, and she's like, "I can't figure this out." And I said, "What's going on?" She says, "I see all these invoices that I have to pay, and they're $25,000-$50,000. Now, DeSantis, right? He said no CRT be taught in schools, right? He passed a bill, says no CRT be taught. They're not being taught, but the teachers are taking CRT programs supposedly, and they're billing these colleges, state colleges.
Now, if somebody doesn't know what CRT is, can you explain what that is?
Yeah, it's I don't know the spelling, but basically it's a racial education, basically saying that white people are racist. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, that's pretty, at the end of the day, that's what it comes to. Re-education of individuals is saying that white people are racist. White people are the devil. And, that's it. That's pretty much, it comes down to it. But they're selling even the books. Like they're selling these books, and the colleges are buying these books. They're each of them like $400, $500. And these books are supposed to go to the teachers. And the first thing that comes to mind, and I can say this information, the first thing that comes to mind is money laundering.
Yeah.
Because when you start adding up and you start adding all these colleges, state colleges, because this is being paid by taxpayers. This, just so you know, this is paid by taxpayers of state of Florida. So I'm trying to get more information,
That's
get
money
this
laundering, bro. You're laundering this through.
You're laundering the money through, making it look, and then everyone has a different name, like diversity, something, and and they have these speakers that come in to do these seminars for the teachers.
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
Now you have one daughter that can deadlift 275, so
Yeah.
don't even try her.
No.
And you have a younger daughter, beautiful
Yeah,
daughter, and look at the size of this guy. You don't want to fuck with him, and there's a lot more than that to him.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll homeschool her?
No, I actually only have one daughter. Sorry, Tom.
Oh,
Only one daughter.
that's your granddaughter.
No, that's my daughter. Just only one daughter.
Who's the little kid in the video?
That's her when he's growing up.
Oh shit!
That's what I was saying, growing
I
up.
thought you had two.
No.
Oh,
No.
damn, all right.
She was little, now she's big.
All right, I'm new to
So
the
you're
kid
gonna be
thing.
there.
I'm
You're gonna
new
be
to the
there.
kid thing.
Yeah.
If she was 2 now,
Yeah.
do you think you would end up homeschooling her? Keep her an extra
100%.
activity.
Yeah, 100%.
I think-
100%.
I think we are too.
But
You gotta keep them active. Though.
Yeah, but I found some good. It's good parenting, right? And I find some good of having her go to a public school, because if you got a good education at home, and you still got good relationship with your kid, and you talk to your kid every single day, and you talk about what they're learning in school and whatnot, you can actually let them experience that and then re-educate them at home. You know what I'm saying?
If you're a good parent, you have a conversation
Right.
at home. Like they can come to you like as a friend.
Right, and that's what I did with my daughter. My daughter went to public school, and she still had to deal with certain, teachers and professors that brought stuff up, and then she'd come to me with it, and I'll say, no, that's not how it is, and I would show her the information. I was like, here's the facts. Research this, research that, research this. Now you go back to school, and then when the teacher says something, you have actual facts to cover it up. You know what I mean?
Glenn,
So-
you got 7 kids.
What?
He's got 7. He's got
Holy
7, bro.
smoke.
No, it's 6.
Man.
6. Sorry, 6.
Well,
The fuck
six.
is one more.
Holy shit! Leave her alone, man. Jesus Christ!
How old are all of them?
Well, the oldest one is in his 20s already, and the youngest is 4.
4. Are you gonna public school?
Yeah, but they're very alert on what's going on.
Well, you keep them
Conversations
on.
about it.
Yeah, just exactly what Tank just said. I was just curious.
They go there. I mean, when I went to Rutgers, they even were telling the college students that Jesus is not real. We had to keep intervening with at college at Rutgers.
Yeah.
But right, they'd rather have somebody come in and
Yeah.
tell a teacher
Yeah.
that or whatever else, rather than how about real shit that maybe
Right.
you're gonna use in life.
Right. So here's talking about Jesus not real. So that's another thing about the socialist policies and communist policies, is that they don't believe in God. So they're atheists. So they ban anything that has to do with religion. So in Cuba, see how you were talking about your son or your kid, he being taught that there was no Jesus, whatever. Well, I actually, my parents almost got killed in Cuba because I ended up bringing a picture of a drawing that I did in church of the birth of Jesus Christ.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like 9 years old. I didn't know what was going on, man. I was 9 years old. I bring this little drawing that I drew in Sunday school at church, in Catholic church, and I bring it to school, and I'm telling all my friends about it. I'm like, look, this is Jesus, and if you pray to Jesus, he'll get you a bike. I'm just a little kid, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
and it's right before Christmas, and the teacher overhears, she grabs my ear, immediately grabs my piece of paper, and they had this room in the school where it was like literally dark, so dark you couldn't even see your hand, and they dumped kids in there, close the door, lock you up all day, and so they locked me up in there. And while this was happening, they went to look for my dad and my mom. And my father had taken a construction job. My dad was really smart. He actually got he was finishing medical school, becoming a doctor. And a week before that, he ended up getting kicked out and getting beat up and whatnot. I'll tell you that story in a minute. But going back to that, my mom was an accountant for the government. But anyways, my dad went to work for construction. I don't know, up in the mountains or whatever. And so they couldn't find him. They brought my mom, and she was being interrogated. Supposedly, as this was going on, she was being interrogated by the police and the school.
Damn.
And they were threatening her that they were going to send her to jail and send me to juvenile. And I was only like 9 years old. So my mom just kept begging, like, oh, just it will never happen again. I will take care of it. So I found out later that, that this happened, and she told me never to bring stuff like that to school. So in a communist country, you go to jail for that. You can even die for that. They might kill you for that. So yeah, so it's no joke.
See, and even when it comes to like the religion thing, right? Even here, it's a free country.
Mm-hmm.
if you believe in God and I don't, or I do and you don't, that's your choice.
Right.
What does it matter? Why have an argument? Because if you look at, I mean, you know more than me, obviously. But when I read about wars, because I like the Marines, I like the SEALs, I like to see all the shit, you know. And really good friend of mine, he passed away because he didn't get, he had post traumatic. He was a Marine and he lost one of his brothers. And it just, he was working for me when I had the engineering company when he came. And it just kept eating at him because he was out in the woods. Long story short, they couldn't find him. He found his brothers, and one of them got killed.
Right.
And it was so much combat. This is in the 80s. So much combat going on wherever the hell he was. It was some like crazy ass place.
Grenada or whatever.
Some nutty place.
That's
I mean,
going on.
Fucking nuts.
Yeah.
And
Panama going on too.
And because he was the head guy for all his life from that point on, he felt responsible because if they would have went back and got their brother, then the other three that he was in charge of, they would all got killed. So that ate at him forever. Right. And then when he was working at the VA because he wanted to be around his brothers, he wasn't comfortable around people that aren't like me and you and him like that. Right. Like guys like us.
Right.
So then when this whole thing happened in the country, they started cutting back on VA. So they cut his overtime. And for him, that meant that his fiance had to go to work.
Right.
And he is like super alpha.
Right.
Yeah. And so between that killing him in his head, anyway, he was band-aiding it with alcohol and everything else, which is understandable. I get it. And then they cut his VA time, and then for a super alpha, like our grandfathers back in the, more than us. Then his fiance has to go to work so they could pay the bills. It just set him over the edge.
Right.
And she had called me and she's like, John's not waking up. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? He's like, the ambulance come, boom, 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 boom. Yeah. That was it.
Yeah. I mean, the suicide rate is no joke. Right now, I just did a post recently that increased 35%. So
where the fuck is the help? If he would have gotten help, he probably would still be here.
There's no.
He was working at the fucking VA.
Yeah, but see, here's what we're doing wrong. Okay, I've been following this VA issue a long time, and I'm a suicide survivor too myself. So I've been there. Got the t-shirt. So
when I say congratulations, I mean that you got through it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. So I was actually like how you say announced dead. You know what I'm saying? Pronounced dead. Yeah, wow. You know what I'm saying? So by the time they started pumping my stomach because I ended up taking a bunch of medication. But anyways, the thing that woke me up, man, was actually my little sister. She brought Bring the Jesus meeting to me. And that's what the military vets need to hear. And I think that, and this is what I do. So when I deal with veterans now that contact me, and I get tons, man. I get tons of individuals, pretty much a week. I get like 3 or 4, that contact me, say, hey, bro, I'm in a really dark place. I don't know I'm gonna make it. Just give me the suicide vibe. That he's thinking about taking his life and this and that. And bro, I just go off on him. I'm like, how old are you? Like 28 years old. Like, bro, what's wrong with your life? You're 28 years old. Do you have kids? No, I don't have any kids. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Stick and move, bro. Do you have a girlfriend? No. Do you have a wife? No. Okay, then what the fuck is your problem? I tell them straight up, Like, the world's yours, bro. Go out, travel, you know what I'm saying? Fuck bitches, go live your life. Now, if they say, well, I got kids. So you're thinking about taking out your life and leaving your kids behind. Is that what you want to do? So some other man can raise them? Is that what you want to do? What kind of motherfucker are you?
That's going to wake him up.
Oh, bro, like, what the fuck, right? Because, they're expecting that sympathy shit.
Yeah.
And that didn't work for me. You know what I'm saying? And ain't going to work for these guys. Like you say, they're alpha. You got to talk to them alpha. You got to slap them the fuck out. They need that shit. They need Bring the Jesus meeting. They expect that shit. They want that shit, They got out of the military. They're hungry for that. And the other thing I will tell them is find your nearest BJJ class. Start rolling, man. Learn some martial arts. Take all that frustration, get all that mental state, put it on the mat, roll around with a bunch of dudes trying to choke you and try to break you, try to submit you, and then you'll come out of that shit. You'll you know what I'm saying? You'll come out. If that doesn't come out, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? If you think you're better off taking out your life, you know what I'm saying? But I have this conversation, Tommy, with them every time. And every single time, they're like, thank you so much, man. Thank you for talking to me the way you talk to me. Nobody has ever talked to me like that. Everybody's expecting me to hold my hands or whatever. You know, I had one guy, friend, you know, of one of the guys, you know, he came to me. He's like, hey, man, why you talk to my friend like that? You know, you know how he's dealing with these demons. Like, motherfucker, I'm not going to be you. You know, you're, that's great. You're his best buddy. You want to hold his hand? You know, all you're doing is helping him pull the trigger. You know how I think about this? Like a drug addict, a person who's a drug addict, and then you got your mom, and then mom is like, "Mom, can I give you $20, mom?" You know how it is, right?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You're enabling the situation. You know what I mean? And you're not realizing you just give him, you know, you give him the rope that he's gonna be hung on. You know, so yeah, man, they just need tough love. The veterans need tough love, and when you say that. I'm you know, man, right now I've said that on my shit. I'm gonna say in your own podcast, right? So I'm stand for what I say, right?
Damn right.
It creates havoc. You know what I mean? Like people just lose their mind, you know?
But what fun, what like we were talking before.
Yeah.
What fun is it to sit here and we can't say what we want?
You're right.
I'd rather just sit here, put it up, fuck it, take it down. At least we had a good time.
Right.
You know? Well, you know, what the fuck? And
But am I right? I mean, like you served in the army.
Right. I was attacked.
What do you think about what I just said?
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we talk, you got to shoot them straight. Like, snap out of it, man.
yeah, and that's how it was with me. Remember I was telling you,
Yeah.
when I would walk in, I would sit because, you know, my mom would be like, Tommy, go, okay. And as soon as I walked in, I could take one look because, you know, in your life, my life, you could read people like this. You have to.
Yeah.
Life and death.
Right.
And I look and I'd be like, oh, this is going to be about 5 minutes. And as soon as he said, Tommy, how's your day? See you later. Here's your $100. See ya. But then this guy here, he goes, Tom, the fuck are you doing? What do you? Because you know, I was acting like I walked in, I like a big fucking gold chain on, like a fucking retard. You know, 10 years ago, you know, young, thought that was cool. He goes, how you gonna have a successful business with all this fucking gold? Would you just come out of a rap video? You ain't no rapper.
Yeah.
And he was hard with me, and he was saying fuck. And for me, I could. What's the word I'm looking for? Like I could.
You can connect. Yeah.
I could connect because I wanted him to say, the fuck? Like, talk to me like you would, like a man. Don't talk to me like, well, how was your day?
Right. Yeah.
Because I can't deal with that.
Right.
So, and I've been going to him for like 10 years, and literally, like I was saying, 45 minutes is like we're just bitching about the world, but then that 15 minutes, and people would say, you know, girls I was with in the past, they're like, you're wasting your fucking money. I said, you don't understand. Right. He's playing me. Right. I know he's playing me. Right. But he's a good therapist because for 45 minutes we talk business. What are you doing in business? Maybe you should do this. Yeah. Fuck this. Like a lot of swearing and stuff because he knows that's what makes me comfortable. Right. And then he'll hit me with a line that I don't realize it at the time. Right. But then maybe I'm in a situation where there's a choice to be made, and that little prick pops in my head. That 15 minute, that one line, stops me from making a bad choice or whatever it may be. But just like you and everything else, you need tough love. You can't be like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. I've never seen it work. Yeah. And what worries me about like my daughter and is that giving them an iPad and going to the fucking room ain't going to do nothing. Right. They need to be fear. You got to give fear, not hurt. Right. Just fear, you know? Right. So my second educational question that I want you to answer. Yeah. So now we got socialism down. I really wanted to ask that. And then communism. Right. So then what is capitalism? Now, excuse me, I'm sorry. I've read it all, but I like to hear from somebody who, like an elder, because you know, like on
the capitalism to me is free, the freedom to create. That's it. Freedom to create, whatever that is, business, you know, art, you know, just freedom to create. You know, create services or create a product or create, build a restaurant. You know. Freedom to create without having the government control every aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what pure capitalism. When this country was developed, well, that's when the first actual real true stages of capitalism really happened. You know, when the colonies were being, you know, were moving around and they were expanding, they were moving to the west, you know, and people were bringing their stuff with their ideas, their hunger, you know what I'm saying, to start, you know, there were people that came from Europe that were, you know, amazing ironsmith. And they're like, I'm going to take my ironsmith and I'm going to take it to the West, and I am going to build the biggest, knife or sword or whatever, tools, for farming, whatever, but they brought those ideas, and that freedom in the first, at least the first, I will say the first, 20, 30 years of this country being developed was actually will build America, trains, right? I mean, without capitalism, no trains. We would have been in a still third shithole like Afghanistan. Look at these countries, right? So just look at all these countries, in the Middle East and some other places, right? They've been around for, I mean, how long? They're one of the first civilizations that ever built in this whole world. And guess what? They're still a shithole. But yet this country is only 45 years old. It's got, you know what I'm saying? Everything you can think of.
We're going to Mars.
You know what I'm saying?
Sake.
Right.
Yeah.
But and that's a threat. And that's a threat to a lot of people. That's a threat to globalism, to people that want to control the whole world. They don't want free thinkers. They don't want people with ideas. They want their ideas and only their ideas. And if you have a really good idea, they want to take that from you and they want to take it for themselves, rip it apart from you and use it for themselves. They'll use you. They'll abuse you, They'll make you think that you're part of the team, you know what I mean? And at the same time, put a boot up your ass and kick you out.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's, that is what's happening right now. You know what I mean?
And just going back 1 second. So when John was when he was at the border, it really fucked me up. Glenn was here and it was crazy. When he was down there doing the trash cleanup, trying to clean the shit up in Del Rio, Texas, he said that when he was there, the first fucking day he was there, 3 guys drowned in the river, had to pull them out.
Yep.
Then he's down there helping people out. There's women breastfeeding their children in dirt, bathing them in dirt, trying to get over the border, hoping to get arrested just to get the fuck out of that mess. What do you do about that?
Well, first of all, it goes beyond that, right? So these people are being recruited in South America to come to America.
Really?
See, yeah, oh yeah. They come here already well educated on how, when they get here, what they have to say, what they have to do, who they have to talk to. Bro, they're already been well groomed. You know what I'm saying? By funds. Dude, some of these people have money. Dude, there's no way. Have you seen the videos? There's no way these people travel 3,000 miles, man, and they show up already at the border, bro, dressing like, you know what I mean? Like good clothes, well fed, you know what I'm saying? Like well taken care of, man. Like they have not walked 3,000 miles. There's no way this group of people walk 3,000 miles.
And what, 107 degrees?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way. You know what I mean? I mean, look, they got cell phones, mobile phones. Like, who the hell is paying for this shit? So they're well groomed and they're getting paid to come to the border. And there's an agenda. There's a plan, man. There's a plan to destroy this country, man. To destroy. There's already started. There's various wars that we're fighting. One is in our educational system.
Oh, yeah.
We lost that. 2 years, kids wearing masks. They're now, though, that generation's fucked because that generation will never ask questions. They were like, okay, we just put my mask on. I was told since I was a kid to put the mask on. See, we were rebels. We grew up in fucking rebels. We're like, fuck you, man. You don't talk to me like that. Who the fuck you looking at? You know what I mean? Like that's the shit we grew up with. These kids nowadays, like, oh, man, what are you looking at? Put a mask on. They all they know how to follow orders and how to sit and how to do what they're told and how to listen, how to shut the fuck up. What do you think? You know
what, Tank?
Yeah.
I haven't got any of them. Nothing. Glenn, you haven't got it either, right?
Nope.
He's in the same building. Yeah. From day one, I never wore gloves, mask, nothing, because I know that your body builds an immune system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I never got it. Nothing.
Right.
Now, none of that shit where unless you had to with certain things. You know what I mean?
Right.
Never wore it. He didn't wear it. I know for sure as fuck you didn't, unless you absolutely had to for a certain situation.
Yeah. No, the only time I had to wear it a couple of times was to fly. And then after that, I decided to get my own pilot license. So I'm in school to get, my pilot license now. So once I get my pilot license, if you want to fly, man, you need a pilot. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck the ATF. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Get that damn pilot. Boy, I'll be calling you a lot.
That's right.
You'll be like,
hey, I got you, bro.
This little skinny fucker.
I'll pick you up. You know what I'm saying? I'll pick you up. Don't worry about it, bro. I'll meet you at the airport. But yeah, man, like it's, there's various wars we're fighting. And the thing with the immigration, the board and all that, That's a lost war. A lost war because we lost that war because one is driven by politics and also driven by globalists who got a lot of money. And even the leaders of some of these countries, they're getting paid. They're getting paid handouts to send their people our way. And the plan here is to destroy this country, destroy the culture. They already destroyed the history of the American way of life, the Americanism. You can't be proud. You can't be, you can't be patriotic anymore about this country. Anything that has to do with the American flag. This is what we are teaching the rest of the world. What do you think those people coming in here? They don't need to assimilate. See, the idea when I came to this country was you have to assimilate. You got to learn the language. You got to speak it well. You got to learn the history of this country. You got to respect it. Now they're taking down presidents, monuments of presidents, down in this country.
And nothing happens.
Yeah.
That's what I can't believe. If I
happens.
jaywalk, I'm gone.
Or even history, Cristobal Columbus.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're taking out, statues of Cristobal Columbus. You know what I mean? Like, dude, and I talk about this all the time, and I tell like, look, man, I was born in an island. I'm a little bit of everything. I'm a little, what do you call it? What do you call it?
Mixed breed. You're a mutt.
Yeah, a mutt. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mutt. I'm a mutt, man. I'm a mixed Taino. There's definitely one of my grandfathers ended up, with one of the slaves. I know that happened. I'm a mulata. One of my grandmas is a mulata. And Taino, Spanish, Irish. I mean, I got a little bit of everything, man. So I have that mentality. But when I come to this country, right, you have this culture and you have this history, and you do have history. So the media and these people that say, oh, well, America doesn't have a culture, it doesn't have a history. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Because when you travel outside this country to anywhere else, you and me, all three of us, can walk into any place around the world and immediately people know that we're Americans. I don't know how. I don't know why, but they just fucking know. We can have, like, one of my guys, his name is Gant. He's blacker than black. He's literally like purple. You know what I'm saying? All you see is teeth and eyeballs. If all four of us hang out and we all go out, they'll be like, yo, motherfucker, Americans, go back to America. They'll tell us that. So what is it about us that represents the USA? You know what I'm saying? What is it? Is it a walk? Is it a way we talk? Is it the way we dress? What is it?
What is it? What is it?
You know what I'm saying?
It's the way we carry ourselves.
Right?
Just in general, just the way we carry ourselves, you can tell right away.
That's it.
Were you born in El Salvador?
Yeah, I was born in El Salvador.
And so when you came here, what was it? The first thing that you noticed, big difference?
Well, I mean, the difference, I'll tell you, when I went to El Salvador, they saw the clothes I wore. They're like, "You're not from here."
Oh shit!
You just came from America. And they're like, "Give me some."
Yeah, I'll give you some. Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about.
Great.
Yeah. They know. So the whole world knows that, man. And there's something to say about that. But anyways, that's where we're at, man. We're fighting these different wars. This has all been predicted, Tommy. All this stuff has been predicted. George Orwell.
Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons.
Did you see that?
Yeah, yes.
They predicted 9/11.
I know.
They predicted this.
I know.
Who was it? Somebody told me that. And I didn't believe it. I looked it up. They did.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah, even and in South Park too. South Park.
Yeah, South Park too. How?
Yeah.
How?
I
think it was just like a joke, and it just happened. I don't believe in coincidence.
Well, there's a theory. There's a theory out there, and you need to look.
You got to tell me.
Yeah, there's a theory. It's called simulation. That we live in this big simulation.
Possible. And
that's a theory that people believe, and I think more so. I really believe that. And here's okay. I don't believe. How about this? I'll give you some.
I'm big in the universe. I read everything.
I'll give you this. All right. Let's say, which you already know they have it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say there's an artificial intelligence. Well, let's look at technology, for example. Right? We have all this technology. What if, you living in this present time, the technology has already superseded us. That technology is already fly right by us, and we are now living in a simulation. That could be. But one thing is for certain. This is a fact. There's artificial intelligence. There's many artificial already built, already developed to do different things. We are numbers. You are a number. I'm a number. We all. Here's the thing. Go back to the software. Software. You know software. You know program.
Yeah.
All right. How did people how did anybody, will sit in the computer and go, hey, I'm just going to start writing code? Where the idea of code come from? When you look at the DNA of individuals, we are our own code. This is where the RMNA, the mRNA, vaccine, what that guy was talking about, right? To be able to change your DNA, right? So how, this is coding. So now we're coding our own DNAs, but this whole thing go back to software. So let's say artificial intelligence is, knows all your thoughts, knows all your clicks, knows what you like, what you don't like.
It does.
Because it listens to your conversations, listen to what you do.
It does.
Everywhere you go, everything about you, right? Let's say they know millions. Not just you, Tommy, but the whole world. Yeah, the whole world. Now, listen to this formula. With that data, I'm able to predict the future. I'm able to know what society is going to do. If I do this, I can say, okay, AI, if we do this to these people, what is the majority of the group of people going to do? Going to react. And they're like, oh, this is what's going to happen. 70% going to do this, 40% going to do, They're going to break it down because they already have the data. We are just data. We are right now just big old data code, man. And that's what I see.
Do you know, it even comes up on Google. Do you know that Android every 50 seconds uploads to a database?
Yeah.
Now, don't think that iPhone doesn't do it too.
No, they do it. Oh, iPhone,
they all fucking do it.
Yeah, they all fucking do it, yeah.
And my hypothesis from my studies is that all that shit is going to that database for AI.
Yeah.
Okay. And in my opinion, what they don't realize is that AI is immortal.
Right.
We're immortal.
Right.
So now, and I've said this before, so if somebody's seen this, whatever, this is my boy, so I got to tell you.
Right. Yeah.
So now, if you have AI that's almost human-like, but way faster and way better, okay?
Yeah.
Now it's taking all the data that you use every day and how you feel and everything else. Now it has a conscience and feelings.
Yeah.
Right? Now here's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So that guy that's sitting at home, that can't get a girl to save his life, just can't lose weight, whatever it may be.
Right.
You open up the newspaper, hey, get a robot for, $2,000 in a week.
That's
right
nice.
now you save up. Now you have this beautiful looking robot that jerks you off, fucks you, goes and gets your food, doesn't bitch and moan. Okay, then that's the start. Oh, you're feeling bad today, Tank. Well, oh, okay, honey, it's okay.
Right.
Now that's how it starts. Then it evolves from there.
Yeah.
Now, the way I look at it as if they're built off of us, we're alpha.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right.
So eventually, as they multiply, they're naturally going to want to be alpha.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't compete against AI. I don't give a fuck what you tell me. We are not faster than a computer.
Right.
And they got way faster computers than you think. And on the other spectrum of that, within that, I think that, because if you look at the technology change, it happened like overnight.
Yeah.
I believe 1,000%, especially after Bob Lazar.
Yeah.
You ever see him?
Yeah.
That they have extraterrestrial intelligence, they have spacecraft, whatever, and they were able to reverse engineer parts of it.
Right.
And that is the only explanation to me that you can go in 100 years from, think, 1900 to 2020, 22, right?
Right.
I mean, that is a massive difference.
Yeah.
The only possible way to me is that a craft landed, they got it, and they reversed engineered the technology. And the shit that you're seeing today that is like, would be not even thought of 50 years ago is now just flying everywhere.
Right. We need to be more like robots or something like that. So not only you have a vaccine that is DNA changing, right? Changing our software, changing our who we are, but the government sees us as robots, okay? Those machines you're talking about already exist. Those machines that, Japan has one of the,
they have the most advanced one.
Yeah, one of the high suicide rate when it comes to men. And two, one of the large civilization societies that are actually men having that as a significant other. But if you look at our society and our culture and look at the media, look at the propaganda, and look at what they're trying to do to destroy the marriage between two, a woman and a man, they're already doing that. And they're trying to break the nuclear family up. And they're trying to say, well, a woman can be a man and a man can be a woman, and a man can have a kid, right? And now they're talking about a technology that like a vagina technology. I don't know what it's called. Can you help me out with this with a search? But
Go to Google.
well, basically, it's a man can have a child because they're going to inject him, or give him a the same thing that women has, when they get pregnant, what do you call that, the belly, right?
Yeah.
They're going to be able to put a synthetic belly into a man so the man can have a child.
What should he type in?
So new technology. New technology. I had it the other day. New technology for men to get pregnant.
For men to get pregnant.
Yeah.
I was watching why he does that.
So there's that. No, let's look at the news. You look at news.
Go back up to the top and go to news.
Look at news.
I got free Glenn.
Yeah,
Apple,
so
like they got fucking emojis.
yeah, so you got the emojis, right? You got the
Yeah.
Apple emojis happening right now, but
Right.
but there's definitely a I looked at my Twitter account. You know what I'm saying? But there's like they're working on this technology, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I know. And you know what's absolutely even funnier is that Caitlyn Jenner,
Right.
she came out, she came out, whatever.
Right.
And that is probably the biggest celebrity figure that did that. And even he or she, whatever he or she is going by, right? Said that you can't have the sport thing like that. You can't.
Right.
For Jenner to do that,
right.
That's kind of a big deal. I mean, he went kind of.
Yeah.
I don't want to fuck up, but kind of went against his own crew in a way.
Yeah.
But he was an Olympic athlete, and he knows that you can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, like,
it's a fucking wormhole.
Yeah,
bro.
it was like, hey, here's the way I look at it, man. You're mentally fucked up. You know what I mean? You get, there's nothing. I mean, like, I cannot take what you say for the grain of salt, but it is what it is, man. Look, man, whatever makes you happy, just don't push that shit agenda on our kids, and that's what they're doing, and it's so sickening, man. These people talk about this 3-year-old, 4-year-old wanted to have a sex change.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Fuck does a 3 or 4-year-old now?
That's that's child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking child abuse.
Mm-hmm.
What happened, man? What happened? I just posted this the other day. Like how in today's society, you have these pedophiles and these people that are in that mentality that are so blunt about it. They're so like openly, we're make pedophilia, normalize pedophilia again. I'm like, are you out of your freaking mind? Like, what happened to back in the days, back in our days, people used to do those type of people used to be scared for saying some shit like that. You know what I mean? So, I don't know I don't know what's happening, man, but it's pretty bad. That's all I gotta say.
It's pretty.
It's
mind blowing when you think about it.
It is
at the increase, and I'm for freedom. I'm for a free country. So if that's what you want to do, go ahead. But like you said, you don't need to push it on kids or have it on the media every 2 seconds. If that makes you happy, go do it. But those who don't agree with it, keep that away or however you want to do it. But I don't. It's a free country. Do what you want, but don't be pushing it.
Yeah. So this is where you get those the lone wolf, right? You get a guy out there who's looking at this shit. He's got military background, maybe so. Maybe he's not. Maybe he's some country redneck. But he's looking at this shit and going, man, this ain't. I'm gonna go all out. So he's gonna go all out and do some crazy shit on these people because it's just not morally right. So like I said, man, you keep pushing that button, and eventually you're gonna get some people that's just not gonna take it anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think that's something you'll see in the future.
So now, when you were in the Marines, you were an infantry.
I was with 370 in the infantry.
Infantry team leader, United States Marine Corps for 4 years.
Yep.
Now, what all does that entail? And a recruiter.
Mostly just policing, bro.
He was a tank guy.
Yeah, he knows what policing is.
What'd you call that fucking tank thing
Like
again?
most of the time, bro. Most of the time we were like in our barracks jerking off, bro. Like what I'm saying? Like half the time, man, we were just like literally like killing flies, man. A lot of time killing flies.
He's funny. Wait, you went from tank to what? You did two different things. It was crazy, like two opposites.
That was a rigger, and then I went from rigger to tank.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is a rigger again? I know you told me 2 days ago, but
The guy who fixes the parachutes.
oh yeah, for the guys that jump in, and if you don't fix it, they're dead.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I'm not like making it funny, but so you did that 4 years, then you did the recruitment, right?
Right.
Now, did he travel anywhere?
Yeah, I've tried. You know, what I mean, through military.
Yeah,
or,
through the military.
Yeah, various places. You know what I'm saying, like Middle East and Asia. You know what I'm saying.
How was Asia?
Asia was wonderful.
I heard the pussy's really good.
Yes,
that
pussy's
true?
always good, bro. Everywhere. Doesn't matter where you go.
John said
I don't discriminate, man. I love all pussy, man. But you would have definitely had fun in Japan. You definitely would have hooked up with Yakuza Mafia up there, you know.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I talked to you on the last show. We talked about this, man. Don't bring me on that.
No, I won't.
You know,
No.
we don't go that route again. You know.
Japan was your favorite though?
It was nice. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was good times. You know, I made some good money up there and make some good relationships, and it was good times.
What do we do about these truck drivers, man? When I was growing up, before my dad was a complete asshole.
Yeah.
I used to love to go into a Mac. His friend had a Mac truck, and I would go when I was a kid and bump and shit. I thought it was the coolest thing, and they're shifting.
Right.
And now, elders that when I was growing up that drove for 50 fucking years, they ain't got no job no more.
Right.
And they're literally eating noodles.
Right.
First off, what do you do about that? And why did this? How did this all get so bad with the truckers? Because I call it the tail end of it when people were really coming out, losing their jobs, not having money, not losing their pensions too, and everything else, and they were, and it pisses me the fuck off because I know a lot of them, and I know that they would look at their kids and say bye and not really want to, but they had to.
Right.
And they did it for 20, 30 years, and now they don't have a job, and they just gave up 30 years of their life from their family to support their family, and now they don't have a job.
Right.
So I wanted to get your opinion on that and what you do about it and all that.
Well, I guess two things. One, I'm not a trucker, right? So, but I do.
I saw it on Uncle Sam.
Yeah, but I know a little bit of the demographic. The demographic is a blue collar demographic. The blue collar demographic just wants to be left alone, bro. They just want to do their job. They want to be left alone. They want to come home to their family and
so what is that?
And have a beer. That's in Canada. You know what I'm saying? That's American truckers who respond to the Canadians. But but what's going on? I mean, these basically is you start pushing people. Pushing people a lot. Eventually, you.
I thought you liked that. That's why I went there.
Yeah.
I did that
Eventually, you got people that says, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to comply. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what happened with these people. They're telling them. See what you did? Let me just say this about the truckers, right? So you got these people have had enough. They're not. The only way is we the people unite. And we bring a force, and you're gonna get uncomfortable. We're all gonna get uncomfortable. There's not gonna be food in the grocery store there, but we're all gonna come in force. We're all gonna be coming force, like some places in Europe, man. They have literally grabbed the politicians outside and dumped them in a garbage can. You know what I'm saying? Like that's I don't
you're not promoting that. You're just saying, look, something drastic has to happen. That's the only way, because this is just Band-Aid after Band-Aid.
I'm going to give you an example, bro. Cuba right now, man, it's 60 years into communism. The government is giving the Cuban people carcasses, literally bone carcasses to feed. I can show you pictures, man, and I'm talking about people dying, starving. It's like German, like if you remember the pictures, black and white pictures of the Jews starving in Germany, on the streets. That's how Cuba is right now. Buildings literally falling apart. Okay, hospitals, no air conditioning. People outside the hospitals, bugs, and flies, and all kinds of shit. You go to a hospital in Cuba, you're gonna go die. There's no medicine. There's nothing there. You know what I'm saying? And what the Cuban people gonna do? The Cuban people want to protest. Like protest what? Like, no, motherfuckers. There's a Russian KGB who says it correctly. He says, when Stalin was going door to door, killing, and kidnapping all the people. He was a KGB. He was part of that same group of people going knocking on these Russian doors and grabbing them and tossing them in jail or killing them. He says, if only they had waited behind that door with an axe, with a pitchfork, with whatever, and waited for us, Stalin would never have had enough men to send out to come get us, come get him. So what I'm trying to say, man, is like you're past beyond the point of peaceful protest. Like you're past beyond the point. You get to a certain point where you actually fight back. And there's never been a country in the world ever that has gone to these changes into socialism, communism, and fixed it up with protest and politics. Not one. Venezuela, we're in the same track of Venezuela. If you ask any Venezuelan person, we are on the same fucking track of Venezuelan, how Venezuelan culture, collapsed.
Yeah, they went to total
same fucking way. Same fucking way. Inflation
started like this. Yep, inflation.
Inflation is all the. Now literally you find millions and millions of fucking bolivars in the streets of Venezuela. Millions. You cannot buy shit with 1 million bolivars, and that's what's happening little by little. It's like the 101. Everything that is being done here is an agenda. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, with this war with Russia, Ukraine, all that shit, they want to start a war. These psychopaths, right? They have control of nuclear bombs and nuclear shit and all shit. They want to start a war. That way, people get sidetracked, something else to worry about, and they can get away with their crimes. And I'm talking about we got pedophiles, we got, thieves, and these is people like, it's funny to me because, this is the same government who goes to El Chapo and say, hey, we're going to make you the biggest warlord. We're going to hook you up. We're going to give you the drug lines. We're going to take care of you. Then all of a sudden, Chapo like, all right, Chapo becomes a multi-billion-dollar warlord, drug lord. And I was like, oh, no, you're getting too big. No, you're getting too big. We're going to have to put you in jail. You know what I'm saying? We're going to freeze your bank accounts. Where did that money go to? $21 billion.
You know where the
$21 billion. That's a lot of fucking money, man. $1 billion is $1,000 million. Yeah. Where did that money go to?
You know where it went. We both know where it went. I had you like in relation to that. I had Jorge Cardona, and he was a real narco. I had his paperwork and everything. He got 50 years. He got caught with fucking holy shit. What was that? He got caught with 200 million tons of H.
Right.
100 million tons of cocaine and 400 pounds of marijuana, or 400. It was just some crazy number. But this was early 80s. Right. And he ran with Chapo and Escobar and everybody else. Right. I saw his paperwork. I know federal paperwork. It's real. Then I went to FBOP. Yeah. And what he told me, right? And this is one of the main guys. Right. He was working with Chapo. Yeah. And then he ended up being Chapo's competitor. Right. And then he ended up working with Guzman, the girl that just got 3 years. Right. Because she told on everybody. Right. And got 3 years and 5 years probation.
Right. Right.
And he was telling me that everything that he and his guys were moving into America. Right. Every bit of cocaine that came to America was completely different than everywhere else. Yeah. They would lace it with stuff so that Americans would get more addicted to try to destroy America. Right. On top of that, being a real narco in that life. Right. My barber is Cuban. I've been going to him ever since I moved down here. Right. He's a good guy. Comes over. He makes that goddamn enchilada. You eat them enchiladas from El Salvador? Yeah. The motherfuckers are good as shit, man. His wife brings them in when I get my haircut. He won't even go back there right. His brother's over there, and he's like fighting to get the fuck out of there. Yeah. It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad. But that's what I'm going back to, Tommy, is that, this government is so fucking corrupt, bro. It's so corrupt. It's not even funny. Both sides, Republicans and Democrats.
It's both.
It's both fucking parties or both sides, and people live, and they believe the hype and shit. I think the writing's on the wall, man. And I'm not a pessimist.
Do you see a Cold War coming?
I'm a very positive person. you know, I see things getting much worse. I don't see a Cold War. You mean with Ukraine?
Like in America, like
a civil war? You mean?
Yeah, like a civil war.
Yeah, like a civil war.
Yeah.
You know, I think things are got to get. I think eventually people will start fighting back, but I think things are going to get a lot worse. I just don't see the other cards. I don't see. You know, we're playing cards on the table, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the other person's card, and the difference between me and the rest of the Americans is that the rest of the Americans underestimate the enemy that we are facing. They think somehow that they're shield from chaos and mayhem. Like, no, you know, this is pretty fucked
I guess they don't realize, like, you can laugh at Putin and Kim Jong-un and all that.
Yeah.
These are smart guys.
Yep.
And they're very strategic.
Yep.
And they have one thing Americans don't have: patience.
Right. Patience.
Especially the Chinese.
Exactly.
And they'll wait and wait and wait.
And that's another. You see that, and the Chinese. That's another thing. I mean, they own more land than most Americans. The Chinese own more land. This has been going on for many. You know, Detroit. Detroit. The Chinese own Detroit. I don't know if you know, but back in Bush era, you know what I'm saying, when the Bush was going on,
yeah,
they were selling houses in Detroit for $100.
Yeah, remember that guy that was the mayor or the governor?
Uh-huh.
He was buying up all the like ghetto area, and then he was flipping it and laundering the money. And what did he get? 3 years?
Yeah, only got 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
Detroit.
But it's still going on right now. There's real estate agencies up in Detroit that speak nothing but Mandarin. They're all Chinese, and they only work with Chinese clients. And the Chinese clients don't even care. They don't even care what the house look like, whatever. They just give them a call and say, "Hey, the house is up much." All right, boom, sold. That's it. They're buying. They literally more Chinese own more land here in America and here in our soil than Americans own land in China. You know what I'm saying?
Now, don't you think, Tank, that's newsworthy?
That is newsworthy.
I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Glenn, did you know that? You're in the mortgage industry, loan industry, 17 other industries he's in.
Well, I was doing a deal in Orlando, and we were in a commercial property, and then right before we were going to close on it, these Asians came and they bought the whole building for like millions of dollars.
So just like in cash?
Yep.
Right there.
Just like that.
He's done with that.
Yeah.
Glenn, I want to go back to something he said because he deals with this. What do you think about the inflation, the insane inflation from gold to houses to everything else? Being that you're in the mortgage industry, the oil, all the other shit that you do. I mean, when does it pop?
Eventually, rates just went up 3 times.
What?
Yeah, so
more than they were.
People that had 2.5 like last month, right now we're like they could be like 4.25, 3.875, like even the 700 credit scores.
How long have you been doing that for? Mortgage and loans and all that?
18 years.
Have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, I mean, I got indoor and subprime. The rates were like 18 and 22. People were happy to get 40% interest rate.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm seeing that during subprime, it was more the industry that caused the inflation. Now it's the other side. It's the people causing the inflation.
I don't know how you keep throwing out trillions. We're not talking millions and billions. We're talking trillions.
I'm telling you, yeah. So they own the Federal Reserve, they own the IRS, they own all this shit, man. And people underestimate. You underestimate. Like these people, if you corner these people, what do you do when you corner somebody like that?
They'll bury you.
Right. They'll bury you. And you know what happens? 9/11. See, you know what I'm saying? They're willing to blow up 2 buildings and kill 3,000 people just to get away with their crime, just to start a freaking war. You know, it's racketeering to the fullest, man. You know?
Why don't they ever get it?
Yeah, they don't want. The reason they went after the Italian mob is because they don't want competition. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a full blown criminal? Join the politics, man. Become a fucking politician.
And you get away with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Murder too.
That's right. Yeah, murder. Hillary Clinton. Just got a whole list. Of suicide attempts.
Falling off fucking planes and shit.
Yeah.
Say fuck Hillary. Don't get on a plane for a while.
Yeah. Exactly, man. What's his name? Did he hang himself? What's his name?
Epstein. Or whatever, right? Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. Fuck out of there. There's no way.
Yeah.
That was he either got whacked or he's somewhere buried where he can't do anything.
No, he got whacked. Yeah.
And whacked.
Yeah.
Total.
He threatened probably to give out names and shit. And he's like,
yeah.
we're gonna take him out before.
Of course
he gives our name.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But it's funny to me that people actually believe that. First off, he should have never went to MCC. MCC is like a holdover.
Right.
And then they put you wherever you're going to go.
Right.
So when I saw that he was there, I was like, wait a minute. Because high profile people don't go there.
Don't go there.
And they sure as hell don't have a bunkie like in the room.
Right.
And then you put a massive guy in there,
Yeah.
like a big jack dude that they would never do that. And then what? The cameras just didn't work?
Right.
Listen to me. MCCC, those cameras don't ever not work. And they have backup on top of backup.
Exactly. On top of backup.
And on top of that, the lieutenant is there all the time.
Right.
Because you're in a holdover.
Right.
So MCC's responsibility to get their money from the private prisons, they better do their job and make sure that if you're indicted and you're in the county, then you go to MCC and then you're waiting, or you're going to go to Oklahoma, Arizona, wherever. If MCC fucks up and you don't survive to make it to Oklahoma where they get the private money from the prison, MCC's held accountable and they could throw them off. So believe me, the cameras did not go out. He was suicidal, supposedly. I don't know about that. But if he was, he would have been in a turtle suit with no way to hang himself and cameras everywhere. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's 100% impossible. You can
I agree with you 100%, man. I agree with you 100%. So that's the kind of government you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Same government who killed Kennedy.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? Like same government who gave arms to the cartel. You know, like this government, man, is so freaking corrupt. It's not even funny, man. They took out Gaddafi. You know, they're willing to take out people on the outside. Haitian president. You know what I mean? Like, so.
John was telling us the other day.
So do you protest against a government like that? Tell me, do you protest? You know, at some point you have to realize that, man, there's criminals that we're dealing with, and they're trying to destroy this country just so they can keep their power. If they can destroy the country, they're going to keep more power. They're going to gain more power. That's all they care about, man. It's power.
I think of my daughter. That's what I think. Protest, fuck yeah, because she's one year and 3 months.
Yeah.
What about 15 years from now? If things don't change.
Yeah.
Fucking right, I would.
Yeah.
And not because of red or white or blue or left. Fuck all that.
Yeah.
Because whatever it is, nothing gets done anyway because they just fight against each other.
My thing, man, is I'm 46 right now. And
I thought you were
I don't want to be 85 years old and having to deal with this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Look back. You know, our kids are gonna look back to a certain place and go, hey, Dad, why don't you do something about this?
You're damn right.
What were you doing? What were you doing when this was happening to us? You know, what exactly were you doing? You know, sacrifice has to be made at a certain point, and certain people have to be made. But like this thing with the truckers, like I said, they can't try not to negotiate. See when they say, well, we got to de-escalate, we got to negotiate. No, see that's for them. That's like, okay, now we got you. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not ever gonna give you what you want. You know what I'm saying? They're just going to negotiate,
band-aid it to make it look decent, but not what right.
Yeah, and they're gonna negotiate to the way they're gonna win. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So everything you just did, all that sacrifice you just did, all that work you just did goes out the window. Because it got uncomfortable. It got really uncomfortable for you and the rest of the group, and go, okay, you know what? I want to go home now. You know what I'm saying? It's not fun anymore. You know what I mean? Well, it's not like that, bro. Once you start a fight with somebody, you got to finish it. Right? You know what I mean? When you throw a punch. We're fighting. You know what I'm saying? We fight until this thing is over, until somebody get knocked out.
Yeah.
But we finish it. Not in the middle of the fight. Like, okay, well, wait a minute.
No, finish it. And whoever,
can we just talk about this now?
No. We finish it until someone's out.
Yeah.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
It's over, right?
Yeah. Or somebody quits.
Somebody quits.
Yeah,
says,
somebody
hey,
quits.
Enough.
Right.
One more hit.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But that's exactly what's happening right now. You can't poke the bear and think that there's not going to be consequences, right? So they're going to make example of all these people, and that's what I don't realize. Like, you cannot stop now. You got to keep moving forward, and as wild as crazy as it's got to get there. Because if you right now trying to negotiate with that same crime syndicate, they're going to take everything from you, and I'm talking about everything. They're going to destroy you, your fucking family, and your fucking kids. You know what I mean? Because they don't give a fuck, you know what I mean? So
this is just the beginning, and I keep saying about Glenn because he's like us. He works in here, right?
Right.
But he has the kudos, the ball. He has the kudos,
right?
The balls to say my country's all fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do whatever I can to try to help my country. He's doing speeches, he's doing interviews, he's spending his own money trying to get over there and fix that shit up that's over there.
Yeah.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's a mortgage broker,
Yeah.
oil guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's what's the thing you do with the Republican in Florida?
A political director for the state.
Of the Espanol.
National Hispanic Assembly.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, you better get some good some good security guards.
What are you talking about?
I mean, but he knows that and have the balls to say, "Look, I'm going for it." You know, I respect that a lot. You know.
Yeah, no, 100%, man.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah. The thing is, with the United States is a lot more complicated than just running for politics. And you see this time and time again. You get a lot of good people trying to run for politics, and somewhere down the line, they realize that for them to stay in politics and to stay in power, they got to play with the devil. You know what I'm saying? And money talks. Remember, plomo or plata, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, that's how these guys are bought. And you telling me right now, Tommy, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't blame certain people that people look up to, and then all of a sudden they flip. It's like, well, if somebody comes to you and says, okay, listen, man, all right, cut the bullshit. We're going to give you $10 million, all right, for you to look the other way or for you to say this thing. What if I don't? Well, we're going to take $10 million and you better watch your back. Just like that. You're going to have an accident. Your family going to have an accident. Your little girl might have an accident. Your wife might have an accident. You know what I'm saying? Or something like that. Then all of a sudden, you realize, like that person's going to flip. They're humans. They're I don't care how badass you are. I don't care how big cojones you may have. If you're in a situation and you see that the world, the society you live in, right? They are not ready right now for heroes.
Cash App. Go to cash.app. Cash App, the easiest way to send money, spend money, save money, and buy cryptocurrency. Cash App believes in providing everyone with access to important financial services so they can fully participate in the economy. Sign up today for Cash App. Use the code MSCS. Additionally, once signed up, create an invite code. When a friend uses the invite code and sends $5 or more from a newly created Cash App account, another bonus will arrive within 14 days. That's cash.app or download the app and sign up. Cash App.
This country is not ready for heroes. Like, if there was a hero, they'll forget about him tomorrow. Like, in a second, they'll forget about him. So nobody's willing to risk their freaking neck for a society that, at the end of the day, tomorrow, they're not going to give a fuck about them. They're not going to, you know what I mean? And that's how it is, bro. And I'm going to give you an example of that hero, right? Because same shit happened during the Obama administration with the Bundy Ranch. You know what I'm saying? And the Bundy Ranch, these ranchers were protesting against the land grab that the government was doing. They were coming into these ranchers and they were selling this land. Harry Reid was selling this land to the Chinese. Same shit was happening right now. But they were going to the ranchers and say, "Hey, you got to sell me the land." And the rancher's like, "Fuck you, no. This land's been generations land. We're not selling you the land." Okay, we'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? And they come back with a group of scientists and say, we need to. Well, these guys are part of the Land of Bureau Management, and we're going to come in and we're going to inspect your land for anything that could be extinct. And they come in and they're like, "Hey, we found a rat in your land that is extinct."
Yeah.
Right. So now you have to pay certain amount of money per month, okay, to us. For us to take care of your land, to watch over your land, make sure that this little rat, right, doesn't completely,
destroy the whole the 20 acres you have. That one rat.
Yeah, exactly.
But they nickel and dime you to death.
Right. Or a turtle, or tortoise, or whatever, or an insect, whatever. And this is how they play this shit. And then, for you and me, we realize, you motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? You guys are doing the shit that crime syndicates do. And so these ranchers, right, tell the government, fuck you, we ain't paying. And then that money accumulates. Every month accumulates. Until you have like 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, whatever fines that you got to. And then the government comes in and guess what? They want to seize your land because you have not paid their little bullshit scheme that they had with you. and that's why the ranchers were protesting. So the ranchers went to Oregon, I think.
Yeah, they were putting liens.
Yeah.
They were putting liens, and the lien turned into
and
so much fucking
into-
interest.
yeah.
It was like, here, just fucking take it.
Exactly. So these ranchers, so they protested, and they surrounded and it was a peaceful protest. There was no hostages. They didn't take nobody. It was just a peaceful protest. They went over there and just protested. And the the Bureau of Land Management, it's just like the FBI. They're huge. Our government has army over armies. A lot of people don't realize the IRS has their own army.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? The RAS has their ATF has their own army. Freaking Land Bureau, one of the biggest armies next to our military. You know what I mean? I mean, they got everything. I'm talking about the best technology available, drones, etc. So they had drones in the sky. They secured the whole area, and they waited for them. And they were listening to the conversations and everything, and they waited for them to take a little trip one day, and then they ambushed them and killed the boy Fennekin. Right there, boom, boom, shot him up, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he had a gun. He had no gun. And that's it. There's your hero. Somebody who was actually protesting, and fighting for his livelihood, never committed a crime, never sold, never done anything, man. Doesn't even drink. The man didn't even drink. Never killed anybody, never shot anybody, and he's get killed cold-blooded by the government. And that's it. Hush.
And what was it, like one day, one article or something?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that was it. You know what I'm saying?
I remember hearing about it somewhere. Somebody told me, and it took me you had to go like page 80 to find it.
So that's what happens. That's what will happen. And that's what Anyways,
so you're also switching lanes a little bit. I never knew you were a fireman instructor.
I train firearms. I told you that. Yeah.
No, you didn't tell me last
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
That's cool as shit.
Yeah.
You know how many people have told girls that I know that they're firemen to get pussy? A ton.
Yeah.
A ton. Yeah, because my fiance, she said, "Oh, this guy's a fireman." Blah blah blah. My good friend, the good friend John, man, yeah, shout out to my boy.
Yeah.
He's captain in Boca.
Yeah.
And the guy was saying that he's a fireman in Boca. But my friend is the captain up there. He goes, that guy there ain't no guy by that name.
Yeah.
So I tell him.
No. This is what we're getting confused. Firearm.
Oh.
Firearm. Yeah. Firearm instructor. Yeah, I teach firearm. That's why it got me like, man, I'm not.
Got on your LinkedIn it says firearm.
Yeah, I messed up. Yeah, firearm.
Okay.
Firearm.
So you train everybody how to do firearms.
Arms, any guns, pistol, carbine.
Right?
Yeah, but hey, I'll put out a fire if I need to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
If we're ever that lonely, just put a fireman.
But it's not Tommy's. My spelling and my grammar sucks. So I got to get my assistant all the time to look at my shit. You know what I mean? Because like I mess up shit all the time. When I make a post, I sometimes put the wrong words, and I'm like, I read about it, like that's not what I meant. You know what I'm saying? So I get certain words confused. So that's my bad. In
your mind, do you think English before you talk, or do you think?
No, I think Spanish.
Do you? And then you have to quit.
Yeah. And I got to change.
So hard.
And words like extinct, for example, right? If I had to type that word, I would have a problem with the spelling of it.
My pronunciation is terrible.
Yeah,
because I can't
certain words.
Things. I don't know if it's like my heritage because I never could speak Italian, but I can understand most of it.
Yeah.
But my mother and my father and my grandfather, they in Spanish, what do they call the Spanish? Like slang Spanish?
Yeah.
Or whatever it's called. So it was like a different kind.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is, and whatever it is.
Right.
It's crazy.
So, but I have problems with words all the time. Like we have a new color for our rifles, and it's SOCOM blue. I finally figured out how to say it. It's SOCOM blue. You know how I was saying it?
How was that?
Suckum blue. I was like, for a while. I'm talking about months, man. I was telling you, this is a suckum blue.
I was like, Tank, did you just say you're sucking some blue?
Suckum blue, yeah, suckum blue.
Call me later.
This is suckum blue. And finally, I was like, okay,
Tank, call me later.
SOCOM blue. Yeah.
So what is YEMX? I never heard that.
Okay, so YEMX was fraternal. So I got into a nonprofit organization when I built our Uncle Sammy's Got a Show, and it was doing very, very well. I decided to give something back and to create YEMX, the Sigma Mui Chai, the what do you call it?
Don't ask me to repeat that one.
Line letters that are spelled USMC. It's for United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So we are called the Marine Corps is called the largest fraternal order of Marines. So YMX being the largest fraternal order of Marines, so I created a nonprofit organization, being the first actual fraternity for Marines.
Wow! Congratulations, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's cool.
Appreciate it, and it went well for a little bit until I realized a lot of things happens with nonprofits. For example, you need a board of directors.
For nonprofit?
Yeah. So for the type of nonprofit I was creating, there's a veteran.
You need a board too?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So a veteran nonprofit needs a board of directors, and they get to vote on every freaking thing. So while it was my idea, and I had this vision, my idea got crumpled down by a bunch of board of directors. And when I got to that point, I decided to pull the plug and close the whole thing down.
And let me guess why. Because I think I know you pretty decently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you want to make sure that fucking money's going to the right place.
Right. So that was one reason. The second reason, they didn't want to do what I was telling them to do. Every time I mentioned this is what I wanted to do, they wanted to do a vote, and majority won. So I was like, okay, well, you can be the president. So I went and said, wait a minute, I am the president. And if y'all fuck up, it comes back to me. I'm closing this bitch right now. And guess what? I own the trademark to YMX. And guess what? Nobody else can use it for the rest of life.
And you can start back up whenever you want.
But it was a great freaking idea, man. It would have been amazing. This would have saved a lot of veterans. Because what I was building, I had a website, and I wanted to get veterans that were getting out, and transitioning, to go into our website, YMX, and it could be anybody. It could be, they didn't have to be Marines. It could be Air Force, Army, whatever, and then just type in application, where they live, when they were getting out, some of their plans, some of their goals, right? And then I have another side of that website where we would have had successful veterans who had been successful with a business, career, college, education, whatever, been successful, and they wanted to get back. They wanted to, be a big brother to a younger veteran that was transitioning and getting out, right? So they will search in their database, this guy just pop up in your city, in your town. This is his name, this is his phone number, contact him, right? So it volunteer work. He will all volunteer work. And he will contact, that veteran and say, hey man, my name is so-and-so. I work for, YMX. I'm going to be with you for this whole year. I'm going to be your guidance, your mentor, whatever you need. You know what I'm saying? So, he will sit down with that person, and we had gone through a seminar, and I had gone through a seminar with these guys, and say, listen, man, you're going to do an interview with them. This is my recruiting background, right? You're going to do an interview with them. You're going to find out what they want to do with their lives in the next year. They want to go to college. You're going to help them get into college, get their scholarship, get their GI Bill, get them all set up. They want to start a business. Find out what that business is, and let's figure out how we can fund it, how we can help, how we can start the business. And then once that year happens, and that veteran that you first started, now that veteran becomes a big brother, because a veteran, maybe his career is doing well, he's going to college, doing well, he started a business, doing well. Now he becomes a big brother. Now he goes back and transitions. So these guys we were going to create literally an army of brotherhood, of people just helping each other, and who knows, the sky would have been the limit. In my thing, I wasn't looking at money, I wasn't looking at shit. I was looking at the overall picture, man. We were going to have lawyers, we were going to have freaking, business owners, we were going to have all kinds of individuals in our network to be able to come together and say, okay, guys, now let's do something big. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways.
Is there even anything right now?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're just supposed to go, be left in the forest possibly for fucking 4 years.
Nothing.
Look at death, blood, things nobody should ever see. And there's no type of transitioning?
No, the transition is literally the failure of our military. They pump you up, they teach you that, and then once you're about to get out, they say, okay, here's your DD-214. See you later. Good luck. You know,
both of you's been in,
you know,
in
you
the
know what
military.
I'm saying?
Both of you's been in the military.
Yeah.
How do they expect a person? Now, you're strong-minded, he's strong-minded, but not everybody is
Right.
just because you're tough.
Right.
You know what I mean? How do they expect somebody to go through the kind of shit that you guys see, deal with every day, and then just, oh, okay, here, go back into regular life
Right.
and go to have a steak dinner and whatever,
Right.
and not hear gunfire and all kinds of
Right.
other. How do they expect that to happen and not have
Yeah.
massive suicide
Right.
rate and fucking everything else?
Well, not everybody gets to go to war. Just so you know, not everybody who served in the military sees war. Okay, but we all share one thing, which is the political mental fuck. The military mental fuck that they do into you in the military, right? So when you get out and you're trying to transition, you can't have a conversation with civilians the same way. You can't deal with the corporate structure the same way because you come from a different kind of structure. You know what I'm saying? Different, little bit different. You expect people to walk a certain way, to be different, more disciplined, more sharper, etc., etc. You know, and you get to the corporate world and you see a bunch of shitbags. You know what I'm saying? And you got it. Your boss is a shitbag. And he's talking down to you or whatever, disrespecting you. You're not used to that. You know what I mean? And how do you deal with that? So those are the
That's a
issues.
big fucking problem.
Yeah.
And just because you didn't go to war doesn't mean you didn't go through boot camp and have
Right.
somebody tell you when to get
Right.
out, when to go
Right.
stand
Right.
still.
Right.
And so even if you didn't go to war and see bodies flying around,
Right.
you were still in an extremely structured
Yeah,
environment.
exactly. Right.
And I can't believe that there's nothing at all.
Yeah.
And that's why you're seeing these vets that are wonderful men dropping like flies or fucking addicts and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck.
So when veterans come out, they, some of them hold it. They're really good. The ones that commit suicide happens like this because it happened to me. Basically, you get out and you just, like you're alpha. So there's no only way out of here. You're going to adapt. You're going to overcome it. You're going to improvise, and you're just going to start taking it in, taking it in, taking it in, taking it in, taking it in. You just keep quiet. And you just keep taking it in. And the years go by and all of a sudden that toll start taking a toll of you. That weight on your back start taking a walk because you want to just let it out. You start looking at people and you start looking at meat popsicles. They're no longer like human beings. You're literally looking at them like
target practice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And eventually you snap. You know what I'm saying.
Is that what happened to you? You were holding it in.
Yeah, I mean, at the time it was broken relationships and broken girlfriend. Heartbroken, all kinds of shit. Everything just fall apart at the same time. Lost my career job. Everything just fell out at the same time. And I say, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
It's
like one of those things like it just never ends. It was just one thing after another. And you're fucking human, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
Yep.
What do you think made you such an entrepreneur, like such a go-getter? Because I remember, like, in my family, my cousin was a shoe shiner. And they would go up to him and be like, what are you gonna do, Sal? Be a shoe shiner for all your life? Yeah, I am. This is what I do. And he shoe shined his whole entire life. He was a go-getter.
Right.
That's what he did. He liked to do it. He liked to make people's shoes shine, and then he'd like to watch them walk into like a business. Shit. Not like that now.
Yeah.
But what made you like such a go-getter? Entrepreneur, or whatever the fuck you want to call
it. My parents were really hard workers, like really hard workers. And they have told me always to, work hard. It's always been part of my, my gene. But one guy told me once when I was a recruiter, when I was doing recruiting business, and I was doing very well for the company. I was making millions of dollars. And I was getting paid 6 figures. And I was like 23, 24 years old with a house and, making 6 figures. This is back in the early 2000s. By anybody looking at it, go like, man, you're doing really well. You know what I'm saying? And this client, it was actual client of mine. He says, hey, Rick, why don't you go work for yourself? And then think about it. He's like, if you worked as hard as you do for this people and you're making this much money for them, imagine if you work for yourself for the same amount of hours or even less, and you control what. And I just said, okay. And they just eating my brain. It just keep eating my brain. Now this time I'm a branch manager, man. I have so much responsibility. I'm making really good money, and I'm just looking out this window, and it's beautiful, sunny day outside. I'm looking out the window of my office, and I just got up and left. just got up and grabbed my stuff.
how it
Just
happened.
walked out, dude. And my phone was literally blowing up. You know what I'm saying? Clients calling me. Still to this day, you still got clients calling me. Hey, man, you know, I'm looking for a job.
Yeah.
Good luck, man, because I don't do that shit anymore, you know? But it taught me how to deal with people. I mean, it was good experience, you know, career-wise, because I learned how to read people, how to talk to people, how to deal with people. And but you know, after a certain time, I just started hating people. I started like, you know, like,
I did too.
you know, what I'm
Went through
saying?
the same thing.
You know, and then it was funny because I was trying to get fired, and I would talk to, you know, the people, you know, the clients, whatever. And I was telling, listen, you fuckhead,
Yeah.
and they actually loved it. I was like, no, you're not supposed to like it. You're supposed to
go the other way.
It was going the other way. Man, I really like the way. And nobody has ever talked to me like this before. I really enjoy it. You know, you being so sincere. I was like, motherfucker,
I can't get out of this to save my motherfucking life.
You know, yeah.
What do you want me to do? Piss on you?
Yeah, that's how it was, man. And I just walked out. I just said, "Fuck this shit," you know. So so even right now, like but then you realize, even as a business owner, you still have a lot of responsibilities. Being a business owner, you still have a lot of responsibilities,
Gazillions of hours,
and you still have, like, So I still have those feelings right now. My feelings are different now. My feelings are like, you know what? I want to walk away from all this shit and go live in the fucking
you'd be bored out of your mind.
I don't know, man.
Maybe you're at that
I don't
point.
know, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just tired. I just get tired of fucking dealing with stupid people, man.
I know.
You know? God, man, it's fucking surrounded by motherfuckers, though.
It never fucking ends. And I felt the same way, but I don't think I could function not working like 14, 15 hours.
Yeah,
It's just like in my DNA. But then, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, when I got a little one running around, dad, there's the fucking, well, I'm going to have to work. What am I going to say no to a daughter?
Yeah.
A boy, I'd be like, go fucking work. A girl looks at me like this. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll go to the diner.
No, she's perfect for you, brother. She's
Fuck
perfect.
you.
She's perfect for you.
Nah,
Yeah.
all right,
She's very, girls, man, like for us, for guys like us, man, they humble us, man. They teach us to be better people, better person.
They shape you up.
They shape you up. So, my thing with my dog is like, please don't turn into a stripper. Please don't turn into a stripper. Please.
I don't think so, bro.
And I say, glad she turned really, really well,
But like for me, I would be thinking the same thing. But my goal is to be friends too.
Yeah.
So let's say she wants to be a stripper. I think I'll have a fucking heart attack and probably blow the place up so she can't. But I would like her to feel comfortable to come to me and say, hey, Dad, I'm thinking about being a stripper. And I would like to tell her all the reasons why. Yeah. Because Daddy knows, unfortunately, you don't want to do that, honey. It's going to lead you down a path. But if that's what you want to do, I'll sit outside and make sure. And I'm drug testing you every day.
Yeah.
That's how that's going to
Yeah, I'm not that, man. I never wanted to be her friend. I'm her father, and that's how I'm always going to be her father. But I see where you're coming from. I see where you're going.
When Daddy's around, you're going to sit down and finish that plate.
Right.
But you can also come to Daddy and tell him anything, and I ain't gonna,
I hear you. Like everybody, you're gonna learn, Tommy. Everybody's got their own formula of how to be a father, and you just got to be the best father you could ever be.
I'll be calling you and him.
There's no perfect way. I made mistakes myself a lot.
Yeah.
But the one thing my daughter knows from me is that I want the best for her, and she knows that 110%. And I took custody of her when she was 11 years old.
Beautiful.
And only because she asked me to. Only my daughter came to me and said, Dad, I want you to fight for me, fight for my custody. I don't want to be with my mom no more. And that was it. That's what she had to say. Because at that point, I was like, I'll play my shows, but I'll pick you up every other weekend. I'll be that. You know what I mean? Because that's where it was, And then when you said that to me, I was like, okay, let's do this. Let's make it happen.
Great dad.
And after that, but you'll see, bro. You're a good person. You're a good person, bro.
Thank you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So a good person always creates good people. You know what I mean? So she's gonna be amazing. And you're gonna have more kids. You know?
Let me tell you. Well, you're telling me that now at 1 year and 4 months, right? So I haven't watched the TV show. I never watched TV.
Follow him. He pop him like real fast, real quick, and you be done. You know, you don't have to. This is what you cannot do.
6?
You cannot wait 5 years to have another one.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
because then you're like, damn, I gotta change diapers again.
No. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen soon. So they got somebody.
That's right.
Play with.
Yeah,
it. No, if 6, bro, you'll be coming to cut me down, cut that rope. Because you know, like the first 4 months, you know, like my house, it used to be like a bachelor bed, and fucking whole, you know, that got destroyed. You know, everything that I had cool, like family, is completely gone.
Right.
And at first, I was like, Jesus Christ, my whole fucking life, I can't do anything. Can't go to dinner no more, nothing.
Right.
But then, you know, she turned 6 months or 7 months, and she developed more. And I could see me. I just remember it was one day out of nowhere, because at first, you can call me a dickhead or whatever. My first kid, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is a lot. This is shit.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do nothing.
Yeah.
I ain't getting laid.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know? But then when she came and I saw the eyes and my nose and it started going, fuck, that was it.
That was it.
Come here, honey. What do you want?
Yeah.
All right. You lost my AirPods? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you broke the fucking iPad because you keep playing with it? Fuck it.
Fuck it.
What are you going to do?
That's right.
When you see a little you look up, it's like you're fucked. You melt. I don't care how hard.
My daughter used to put her high heels on her mom and walk in front of the TV. I'll be watching sport, you know, my favorite sport game, you know, football team, and she walked right in front of that TV while they were still playing football game, and she was like, "Ee!" And I'm like, no, and she thought it was funny, and she was like, just sit there and just like, and laugh, and I'm like, no, get out of it. But you know, like you can't, you know, since your little daughter, just so cute, you know, it's just like you wear high heels and she's in front of the TV, and I just missed the freaking game.
Oh boy, I can only. Thanks for the preparation. I'll put the TV up higher.
Yeah.
So this is funny. So I'm playing with the discs from the cameras, you know, because I always run backup the case.
Right.
So I happen to have the thing open, and I don't know this yet. She's learning to open the gate not to get into my office.
Oh yeah.
So I get up to go get like a water or drink or something to eat. And I go back and I can't find the card. And it was a very important card from the camera.
Right.
Here, this kid has it in her little tent thing that we have for her. And I mean, I spent half the day, because I really needed it, half the day looking for the thing. Hey, Glenn, how many boys, how many girls you got?
3 boys, 3 girls.
Oh, you got the combo.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, tell me what SEAL Team 6 has to go through to be a SEAL Team 6. Am I saying that right?
Yeah,
I always wanted to know.
I don't know.
That's rough.
I don't know, man. I'm not a Navy SEAL, you know what I'm saying? But I know that they have to, you know what I'm saying? They have to go through some serious. I mean, you know, you could help out with this as well, but I know they have to go through Hell Week, and it's you know, a lot of qualifications. You know what I mean? So they have to go through Hell Week, you know, and
you know about that, Glenn?
Well, I met a couple of Marines.
I'm talking about like the
Navy SEALs. He was talking about Navy SEALs.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Navy SEALs that I've met, and they tell me you pretty much have to drown.
Yeah.
I think John, the other guy.
Yeah. There's a good book that you should read. It's called Unbreakable.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, it's by the actual sniper Shia who trained Kyle. You know, as a matter of fact, today's Kyle's birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
You know, the American sniper. You know, he passed away.
Oh shit! I didn't know.
A Marine killed him. He was doing a nonprofit organization where he would take these guys dealing with PTSD and take them out shooting. And this guy was so fucked up in the head. He shot Kyle and his best friend in the back. You know what I'm saying? And killed them both.
They actually portrayed that in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was actual real or just like a drama.
Yeah. So
but he went out trying to help some.
Yeah, trying to help people, man. That's what you get for helping people. You know, you get fucked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was awesome. He was amazing. You know, all these guys are. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's right. You know, you have to drown. You know what I'm saying? And but that book Unbreakable, by Shia, he's one of the only ones that went through Navy SEAL call like 4 or 5 times.
4 or 5 times?
Yeah, he kept getting like hypothermia, like
Jeez.
pneumonia. Like he kept having all these, medical issues, and eventually, like on the fifth, but he never quit. That's one thing about him. He never quit. He never ring that bell. He never quit. So they, if you don't quit, if you don't ring the bell, you get to come back again and again and again. So eventually, on the fourth or fifth time, the guys' instructions like, you're gonna need a letter if you want to come back. You're gonna need a letter from brass up top that you could come back because whatever. So he ended up getting a letter from somebody on top, and he was back in 3 months later. And finished, and he was one of the oldest Navy SEALs to ever finish the Navy SEAL school.
Wow! Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
I saw on your website that
Tom Shea.
Tom Shea.
Yeah.
The DA was in Gaskin.
Uh-huh.
Tell me about him. I saw him on your website. What the fuck? Convicted male child molester will serve 26 years in juvenile female facility. What?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's on your website.
Yeah. Well, okay. So just so you know about how my website works,
okay.
So I have a columnist manager and writers, and they write a lot of stories that half of them I don't even follow. So if you look at the writer, this one's Faye Hibby.
Yeah.
I haven't even read the article, man. So why don't you read it? Why don't you help me out?
I wanted you to tell me about it.
No,
so you know what I'll do? I'll save it for the next time you come back.
Yeah, there you
go.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. Man, I'm so busy these days with everything going on. Sometimes I don't even like pay attention. Like they do such a good job with the articles and the stories that I don't even like. I don't micromanage. That's one thing about me. I don't like to micromanage people.
You'll fuck everything up.
Yeah. So they're good at it. Fahib has written books. She has actually written one book about. She was a ghostwriter for a mob guy. And she actually, she's a publicist. She's been a publicist, a book publicist. So. And a retired, and on top of that, she's a retired police officer.
I ask you, do you know about Robert Safale? Or that was on your...
No.
It's off your website. I was just curious. I was looking at curious shit.
No.
Okay, so now
the only thing I'm focusing right now, to be honest with you, when it comes to the world, is this whole pandemic. You know what I'm saying? And this whole, I guess the lies that are coming from both sides, and they're making me believe people. I hate when both sides, more than conservatives. You see, we already know the left. Already know the left. Already know the enemy of the left. Already know where they're coming. But what I don't like is the conservative side and how they, what do you call it? How they give people false hopes. And they don't realize that a lot of the problems that we're facing today is their fault too. So I'm not one of those to say, hey, it's all the Democrats' fault. It's all the Democrats. This is the Democrats' fault. No, man, the rhinos are doing the same thing. They're
a combination of
they're working back and forth. They behind closed doors, they're hugging each other and kissing each other and whatnot, man. So that's why I try to wake up people, and try to show them, like, look, man, we had a 2020 election fraud happen. Whether you like it or not, man, it did happen, and that still. Even though we're 2 years in this administration, that's still in a lot of people's minds that we did not fix 2020. And a lot of people are saying, well, we're doing this now, we're doing this.
They ain't doing shit.
They're doing shit, man.
They're making it look like they're doing shit.
They got away with something, and they just became better at it. They're going to become better at it. I'm telling you right now, like in the next elections, you're going to see anybody who gets elected today, right? My belief, this is my opinion, everybody got their own opinion, is they're not elected, they're chosen. Every single one of them is chosen, to play counter or to
puppet.
play puppet. But they're chosen, not elected, and they might do some things right. They might do some things that make you feel fuzzy inside, but then they're gonna do some shit that's gonna fuck up everything. You know,
Obama was the best fuzzy. He was the Obama fuzzy.
The fuzzy.
He was good, man.
Yeah.
One thing you got to give that man, he could talk.
Yeah, and he would. But guess what? Obama was the best gun salesman. He was the best. He never ever infringed on our guns. But guess what? Donald Trump took away the rights of young teenagers from 18 to 20 years old here in Florida. You know, everybody's hop, 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 hop. Donald Trump. You can find a YouTube video of Donald Trump right now saying, hey, we got to take away the rights of 18 to 20 years old purchasing of rifles in Florida. You know, so when conservative says Florida is a 2A state, we're not. We're not a 2A state. You know, and I don't know how many times I need to say that to scream it out of my mouth. We are not a 2A state. You know, Republicans, not Democrats, Republicans took away the rights of young 18 to 20-year-old to purchase a rifle in Florida. And it was Donald Trump supporting it. And Rick Scott signed the bill. So that hypocrisy, I don't tolerate. I don't tolerate hypocrites in my life, let alone forgive or forget. You know what I'm saying? So when you have Donald Trump taking a picture with a Kyle Rittenhouse, you know, after Kyle Rittenhouse at 17 years old used an AR-15 to defend himself against a mob, I see that as a hypocrisy because under Donald Trump, Kyle Rittenhouse wouldn't have had a rifle in the first place.
It contradicts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but Kyle Rittenhouse is like, oh, you know me, Fame. He's a young kid. He don't know any better. He not familiar with Donald Trump. You know, he doesn't live in Florida. He doesn't know what's. I even, you know, talked to young teenagers here in Florida. You know, how they feel about it. And they're upset. And these are the new voters. You know? So when you have somebody like that and you do something like this, it's hard for me to trust you. It's hard for me to say, you know, man, I supported you, bro. I really did. But you show me a different color here. You know, you didn't stay the path. You know, you can actually find Donald Trump right now on YouTube video agreeing with the left about taking away the rights and pushing red flag laws.
I believe,
you know,
yeah, I believe you just can't play you. You can't play.
Yeah,
YouTube
you can't.
on
You can't.
YouTube
You can't. But he, you know, he says,
Yeah.
you know, he says, forget, you know, like, what do you call it? You know, to have the right,
right to carry or something.
you know, to have the right for the police to come to your house. You know, there's a right for that. He said, forget that right. Forget that right. You know, we're just gonna go straight for it. You know, do you know what I'm talking about over here?
What, that right?
You know, the right for you to not have law enforcement in your house. You know, they have to have a warrant.
Right. You have
So
to have a warrant to kick
for
that
certain
hand-
risk,
Yeah.
for certain
siege.
and siege.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he didn't want that. He just wanted, you know, if you was a red flag, he wanted the police to come to your house and take away your stuff. But
Donald
then,
Trump did.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and he's actually quoted saying that. So, but more importantly is he actually tweeted, and even a tweet. Can we find a tweet? Can you even find a tweet
They
on
took
Google?
him down.
It's no, there's a tweet. You can find his tweet.
Okay, I'll try. Or
Yeah,
you can.
you know, well, give me 1 second, man.
Go
'Cause
ahead.
we're talking about this, man. And it's really important because we're trying to educate. I like you know, educating to people.
Type in Twitter.
You know, and
Type in Twitter up there.
and no, on Google. Google search Donald Trump tweet.
Okay.
18 to 20 years old. Taking away the rights of 18 to 20 years old.
So type in Donald Trump tweet taking away rights. It will autocorrect it. Don't worry, I'll cut this out so nobody sees this part.
Gun rights.
Gun rights.
Gun rights.
Yeah, put gun rights. After rights, put gun rights.
Yeah.
Over no.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, that's
okay.
good. That's good. Let's.
Sorry, my bad.
All right. Let's go to images.
Search.
Go click images. Yeah. So here it is. I will be strongly pushing comprehensive background checks with an emphasis on mental health, race age to 21, and incel of bump stocks. Congress is in the mood to finally do something on this issue, I hope. So there's the man, right? So when you show this to conservatives and Republicans, they find another freaking excuse for you, bro, to try to defend that statement. Like, oh, he didn't mean that. Oh, you know what I mean? The Park Lane shooting just happened. Bro, you had a Republican president who's supposed to support the Second Amendment, who claims he's the Second Amendment. Oh, you know, without me, the Second Amendment would, and here he is. He took away the rights of 18 to, and what bothers me even more, bro, because the conservatives and the Republicans are all about human trafficking, all against human trafficking. You know the demographic, the one demographic, the largest demographic of individuals who get kidnapped and put in the sex slave industry,
No,
girls between the ages of 16 to 21 years old.
really.
You know, so like that age group between 16 and 21 years old is the highest age group or the highest demographic when it comes to human trafficking, right? Dude, wouldn't you want those people to be armed? Wouldn't you want?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be able to at least have the ability to own a rifle, especially AR-15 platform? So this is the shit, man. Like it blows, like my head blows up. You know what I'm saying? And I like consistency. I like consistency, Tommy. I like somebody tells me, hey, this is black and white. This is black and white. Don't come back to me and say, oh no, this is a little gray now.
I hate that.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate that too.
You know what I mean?
It's just like if you have something to say, just say it to my face.
Yeah, just
and then it's over with.
So that right there left me a bad taste in my mouth, man. And I still can't get over it, man. I can't get over it because right now we're sitting on, Florida could pass right now a constitutional carry. Constitutional carry could be passed in Florida, and yet the rhinos are sitting on it in the Republican Party and not passing it. Wow. Who's that Republican guy who's really famous? Not DeSantis, young guy.
Cruz?
No. Here in Florida. What's his name?
Sabatini.
Freaking amazing guy, right? He's an amazing guy, because he's calling the rhinos for what it is. Every so often you get one good guy that's actually fighting a good fight. And 17 is fighting a good fight. He's actually calling the rhinos like, look, man, this bill is right here. All they got to do is sign it. All they got to do is approve it. And these rhinos are sitting on it.
How much are they blanketed in that?
Listen,
they're not going to pass it.
See?
I was just in Tallahassee.
See?
You were just Tallahassee?
See?
That's all I'm going to.
Oh, yeah.
See?
Yeah, he's got to be careful.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to pass it.
No?
They're not going to pass it. And I know they're not going to pass it. I know they're not going to pass it because they're a bunch of fucking pieces of shit, just like the Democrats.
And John Doe, just there.
You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what I'm talking about, man, right now. You see California, right? California and all these states, right? They have New York, right? They have all these. The reason why you have these issues in these states, and it's going to happen here eventually. It's going to happen in every single race. It's happening in Texas right now. It's happening in Texas. The Democrats have this long plan, but there's something the Democrats have that the Republicans don't have: loyalty to each other. Man, they will back each other with money till the sun comes down. You know what I'm saying? But the Republicans, when they're about to lose, guess what they do? They pull out. They have no backbone, zero backbone, So they let city after city get taken over by Democrats every single time. But the Democrats, no. The Democrats are like, okay, you know what? I know I'm going to lose against you, but I'm going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to take as much as I can from that pie. So when eventually, not this time, but maybe next time, I'll be able to kick your ass. You know what I'm saying?
And the proof is on the wall when you got 80 million more votes.
Right.
80 million. I think they went a little bit too hard, but like you said, they threw it all. I mean, they threw the fucking bus.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And but that's what that's what you get, man. And and they're not stupid. You telling me right now these motherfuckers in the government don't know that Obama's pulling the strings? It ain't fucking that crazy old dude that can't remember if he could wipe his ass.
100% he's pulling the strings.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen to me when I tell you.
100%. 100. I know. 100%. You telling me, okay, so if you know and I know and we all know and we're here, you know what I'm saying, in little Florida, we, far away from crazy land, right? You telling me these politicians out there that we elected these sons of bitches to go up there and represent us don't have the cojones to get up there and say, hey guys, guess what? Joe Biden ain't in charge. It's Obama. He's on the third part. Man, I will fucking would, man. If you've been elected, what the fuck you got to lose? Tell the fucking truth, man. Get up there and fucking tell the fucking truth.
That's it. You know who I love though? Kennedy.
Yeah.
Kennedy. What? He's Kentucky, Glenn. Senator Kennedy's funny as fuck. He's a little bit older, but you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, I like it. Oh yeah.
He tells it the way it is. Whenever I see him, I stop because he's like, these guys out here are crooks.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches. Right on box.
It's true. It's the fucking truth.
He says, and they want to Band-Aid everything. I like to put a Band-Aid over them eyes and put a cover over them is what I like to do, right?
Yeah.
He says it every time.
That's exactly what you got to do.
I wish he'd fucking run,
That's what I'm saying.
I love that.
So like recently Ted Cruz goes, he did he said that January 6th, blah blah blah, the whole thing, right? And then he says, he trashed January 6th. He said, he basically, supported the Democrats' agenda and message that January 6th was a terrorist attack.
He corrected himself after he got his head.
No, yeah. No, there's no. Okay, fine. I'll take that. But the thing he said that you have to, that's the plain truth. Political theater. That is the truth about what's going on right now with politics in general. It's all political theater. That's it. So if and I made this comment about this. I say, motherfucker, I don't remember the last time that we elected actors. Like, if I knew I was going to elect actors for a damn circus, man, I would have gone straight to Hollywood. They got better actors there. You know what I'm saying? I would have gone, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, I would have got one of the, famous actors, but these douchebags, they're ugly as fuck, and they can't even act. You know what I'm saying? But he was, the first time he was actually honest. This is all big political theater. So we all get all excited and all upset and all angry, all fight each other, the Democrats and the left, back and forth. But it's all fucking political theater, man.
All it is.
They're just pulling your strings.
In general, that's all it is. Yeah. I agree. I think it's political theater.
We just went over $30 trillion in debt. Like, just went over 30 trillion.
Trillion?
30.
What was it last week?
28.
28? like 2 trillion isn't a big deal.
Actually, 32 trillion.
Holy fuck. Holy shit.
Bro, they throw trillions around like dollar bills.
Shit. It's the holy shit.
Now you being in your business, I know I keep asking this, but doesn't that fuck your head up? Like, that kind of money just being thrown around? Like trillions with a T? 32?
Yeah, no, it's dangerous.
Fucking dangerous. I don't even know if dangerous is the word, right?
Feds control it, though.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you you run the group that you're talking about, the Hispanic group here in Florida, because, be honest with you, I find the Republicans and Democrats just as racist as anybody else when it comes to conservatives, Hispanics. You know what I mean? I do find that. And one of the reasons I've been censored so many times, because see what I said, right?
Yeah.
What I said, I supported Donald Trump. I supported him from the beginning. And I actually sent Trump Jr. and Eric Trump like $6,000 worth of gold. I made the gold, the logo, my logo.
Yeah.
I made earrings and rings, and I sent them all on there for Christmas one time, right before the pandemic. And it says delivered. At Trump Towers. Laura Trump told me to send it over there, and never heard a thank you. Never heard. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is I supported them, but I don't support people blindly. You know what I mean? Like, you should never support people blindly. You should never support law enforcement blindly. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, there are some good first responders, right? But the Republican Party, for example, Trump Jr. the other day said, there's a war against the law enforcement. Bullshit. There's no war on law enforcement. There's a war on we the people. Law enforcement has always had to deal with crime. Law enforcement has always been, if you would have gone back in the 70s, in the fucking 70s, the fucking the what do you call it, the what is it called, the black group, the Black Panthers were killing freaking cops like every single day. I'm talking a dozen cops every single day in the 70s. You know what I mean? This is not, you know what I mean? Like, so let's go back into history and let me show you how bad it used to be, But I hate when they say stuff like that, because that's not the truth. The truth is there's a war on we the people, on us. Not a group of people, but us, you know what I mean? And they're winning that war. You know what I'm saying? But I cannot glorify law enforcement. I train with law enforcement. I got lots of friends in law enforcement. I support law enforcement, first responders, those who keep their oath, but I can't glorify them, because at the end of the day, they're wearing a uniform. And at the end of the day, when there's laws, unconstitutional laws to be enforced, they're going to fucking enforce those laws. They're going to come knock on your fucking door. They're going to grab you in the middle of fucking night in front of your fucking kids and drag you out to a fucking anywhere. So This is not even like this is history. This shit happens all over the world, man. Motherfucker with a uniform feels like he's Superman. A uniform and a gun.
Well, I think you're generalizing the police because they're not all like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of very, very, very good cops. It's just that you get that bad one, and that makes a bad one for a lot.
Yeah.
And I've ran into plenty of them, and a lot, and 98% of them are good.
Yeah, Tommy, here's like I understand what you're saying, I generalize, but
I respect your opinion.
And I respect yours too. But at the same time, I see it happen where law enforcement, especially with these mandates, they will enforce them. They will.
I haven't seen all that.
New York.
In New York. In
New York is happening, man. There's kids, being kicked out of places. People going to jail for going to a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have.
What are they supposed to do? Say no, and then they lose their job, and they don't get a paycheck.
Sometimes. Going back to the SS and the Nazis? Yes. You do have to have some type of moral. There's a moral stance, man, where you have to cross that line. And if you decide, okay, your paycheck is more important than actually following your oath, then that's what I'm saying. I cannot glorify you. If that's what's important to you, that's where I cannot glorify you because
See, I see where you're coming from, and my standpoint on it isn't disagreeing.
Yeah.
It's just if they got a family, and you got a kid growing up,
right?
And you get orders to do what you got to do,
right?
Yeah, you got to make that decision,
right?
And to your point, you can go work 3 jobs at McDonald's, and with what they're paying cops right now, you'll make the same working a double shift at McDonald's right now as you would, and not have to worry about risking your life.
You could, and you probably sleep better at night knowing that you're doing something.
Come home.
And come home and doing something that is morally right. You know what I'm saying? Because that was not excuse with the German trials. In the Nazi trials, they try to use that excuse. That did not work for them. You know what I'm saying? And we got actually, this thing with the pandemic is actually people dying. You know what I mean? And I feel that anybody supporting this in any way is part of that. You know what I mean? I see you as part of an enemy to humanity and to who we are, we the people. Because today they'll silence Joe Rogan, and then tomorrow they will. Eventually they will, man. They will take down Joe Rogan. They will go. They censor you.
Oh, they can't fuck with Rogan. They'll get sued for $1 billion. But what they will do is what they've already implemented. Where I was shocked that he thinks it's okay for them to do it. That they're going to put, I guess, next week or the following week, where if it's anything possibly misinformation, it will. Like on YouTube, if it's 18 and plus, you got to click to proceed. Well, see, they can't take Rogan down because it's in the contract. So he could sue Spotify for every cent that they're worth.
Mm-hmm.
He really could,
if
they started taking his shit down, but. They could put 17,000 warnings before you can hit play to make it a bitch where it's like a real hassle to play his shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I think eventually everybody gets censored. They took down Donald Trump.
Well, you knew that was going to happen.
But eventually they'll take anybody down. If they went into and there's always somebody out there with a big pocket who says, okay. How much does it cost? How much should I pay you to take Joe Rogan out? $385 million? Okay, done. Deal. Out. There's a lot of people with big pockets out there who don't like the message, who support that, the vax, who supports the pandemic, who support whatever. They got a lot of billions of dollars to back it up. So I don't underestimate. I just don't underestimate the globalists. I don't underestimate the enemy that we're facing. I don't, man.
I don't think we'll fully ever understand it, and all we can do is fight, right? Yeah. Right, Tank? Is fight.
Yeah.
Now, what made you go real hard with the UncleSamsGuns.com? Because the last time I looked at it, it didn't look like it does now.
What do you mean?
Well, it was 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Now it's very organized. It's very clean out. How much pushback did you get? Like getting stock, selling, so on and so forth.
Well, in the beginning of the last 2 months, the shadow banning and the censorship of our site has been really down, and that's all across the board. Our gun sales have been down. last 2 months. They're picking up this month, this year, so the beginning of the year. But all the way from October, August, and November, December, the rifles, like we were doing really well, and all of a sudden just dropped. Online sales dropped immensely. But yeah, man, we got some amazing products,
And now
that rifle right there
I'm sorry.
is a $2,500 rifle. We sell it for half the price. We got a 10-year warranty on it. I mean, this thing is amazing.
Which one are you?
The patent series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, all three of those are the patent
I wanna
series.
see it.
And then we got the Creedmoor is coming out. I mean, this thing is beautiful. We have the Creedmoor coming out, which is 6.5, and the AR-10, which is 308. We're coming out. We just came out with it. We had 2 in the Tampa gun show, and they sold out. So
Congratulations, man. Now you didn't have a lot of
Excuse me.
other than
I'm
like
saying it's got a chill drive.
well,
Here we go.
killing me. Who cares? Your parts, you got yes, you didn't magazines, and this is Uncle Sam's, UncleSamsGuns.com.
UncleSamsGuns.com.
Yep, they'll all be in the description.
Yep.
And you got a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna have more. There's not a lot.
Now, how hard was it to get that in?
What's
Getting stock. I would have thought that you would have got a lot.
Oh, it's been.
pushback.
It's supply chains
Fucking
are broken.
nightmare, right?
Supply chains are broken, man. Everything's more expensive. Yeah. So it's a it's a pain.
How much of an increase have you seen in that in the last 9 months, sales wise? Like what percentage would you see it for your cost?
Yeah.
How much is your cost going up?
Oh, it's just the same as inflation. Everything, aluminium is
prices that are just out of this world.
Out of this
numbers.
world, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Really insane. So we'll see what happens.
So now, do you have any?
We have a lot. We bought a lot in inventory, so we got a lot of inventory. We didn't know that this was gonna happen. We just expected something like this to happen. So we kind of like ordered a long time ago a lot. Now certain things were kind of like how you say, hanging on by a thread. Like the shipments keep coming in, but it just takes you a little longer.
And when Tig was here, I think he went from here to you, right? He said he was going to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, would you guys go play?
Well, I had him set up at an event down in Miami. You know what I'm saying, with a bunch of freaking Marines and whatnot. And I just dropped him off, man. And he went and did his own thing, and then and I went to hang out with my family. My grandma passed away, so she was in. So that was it. Yeah. No, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, he had nothing but absolutely wonderful things to say about you.
Yeah,
he loves you.
Yeah. We go back a long way. Here's another thing, man. Like both of me, and this guy, going back to the whole thing. I think I want people to not misunderstand where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
I train with the FBI. I literally train and do tactical training with the FBI. At least 2-3 times a year. I train with law enforcement, sheriff's department, SWAT team. The guys I train with, I have this conversation with them. So what I just told you, I tell them.
And when you say that to them, what do they say?
And Tig is one of them. The reason I'm bringing this up because Tig knows me, and we train and we do tactical competitions and tactical training with the same types of group of people. So yes, I do agree. There's a level group of people that think the same way we do, and they're going to hold their oath, and we need those guys inside. to be able to hold the line. But as a communism survivor, bro, and I'm only using my experience as a communism survivor, is time and time again, history never lies. You know what I'm saying? It always tells the truth. So
that's a fact.
So that's me and Tig, we have that type of relation. We go way, way back, but he's a hero, man. There's nothing else to it. You know what I mean? Like
you guys are. You guys are. I mean,
I don't consider myself a hero, but I appreciate it, Tommy.
Sure. I mean, anybody in any way who fought for America, to me, is a hero.
Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. I know.
I just hit buttons on a fucking computer all fucking day because I don't know how to swing a hammer.
You're my hero, bro. You're my hero.
I can't swing a fucking hammer, bro.
You're my hero.
Listen, it took me, for that air purifier, it took me 30 minutes to try to figure out where to put the filter, bro.
No, you're my hero.
But you need some coding done on the fucking goddamn computer. I'm your guy. Other than that, Anything labor, no good. I can run, shape, I can box. I got 4 golden gloves.
Let's hack some shit. Let's hack some Chinese code. Hey, they're talking about hacking Chinese. You know the Chinese government keeps hacking on our shit.
Oh yeah,
and stealing our data every 5 seconds.
Just like TikTok isn't owned by. I got to tell you this.
Hey, go ahead.
So just like TikTok has no connection to China, right?
Yeah.
So some that got censored, you know, I could put on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So then I do one on the NBA in China,
Yeah.
you know, because I thought it was really fucked up about all these, you know, fucking, you know, like all of a sudden now, right? You just, you know, you got 200 million or 500 million from fucking Nike and it wasn't a problem,
Right.
you know, selling tons of shoes.
Right.
Now you got all 500 million in your bank account because they paid you up front because you're whoever you are.
Right.
And now because, you know, China's this or China's that, now all of a sudden you're going to come out and say, oh, well, fuck China. And the only one who really didn't that I know of, and I could be wrong, so I don't want to misquote, was that massively 7'2" guy from fucking the Celtics, I think, from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And he had balls.
Yeah.
Stood the fuck up.
Yeah.
There's a couple guys that had some fucking balls. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He got some balls.
Yeah.
He's coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got balls. He stood up to them all.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah, fuck them. That's it. See,
My man.
that is capitalism. Individual freedom.
And he got
say whatever the fuck you want to say.
Shit to no end.
Yep.
And then they hit him with the fucking DUI.
Yeah,
You know, they were following him purposely.
But you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about right there? That's what I'm talking about, bro. They're always going to find people that are going to create your life miserable.
And let me finish off with this. And I got to quote the run by that you had that I think and I'll let you get out of it. And then I'll try to talk you into building me a table. But so check this out, right? So Aaron Rodgers, it's a long story, but anyway, he's down here, right? He's going to meet with Miami, I believe.
Right.
Don't know, but I believe. Right. So now Miami really needs fucking Aaron Rodgers to be their quarterback, right? So you would think no matter what he does, just let him go so he comes here and get him a fucking line. Right. The last thing you would want to do is give him a DUI. Or anything, right? Because he just went down for a meeting with them to possibly sign, because that prick doesn't let him call audibles. Now, he goes down there and gets a DUI, like, you know, not hammered enough to be over the limit. You mean to tell me that wasn't a setup?
Oh, that was a setup.
Because do you know how much money Aaron Rodgers would bring to South Florida if he came here?
That was a setup, bro.
And when I think of that and I process everything you just said, and I just thought of that, and I go, you know what?
Yeah, that was a setup.
For real.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to sound ghetto, but for real. Think about it. The guy's coming to Miami. I mean, he would bring millions and millions of dollars. I mean, he'd be sold out every game. Yeah. And they give him a fucking bullshit DUI.
Yeah.
To fucking bury his name. Why? Because he don't want to do what you say?
Yeah. He's
allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. They come after you.
Bullshit.
There was a guy, I don't know where he's at right now. I feel bad for him too. He actually created the 3D print, program, software. And he was giving it to, he downloaded it for free.
Yeah.
The plastic 3D gun making program, and he downloaded on the internet, and the ATF and the government told him, you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't. He's like, what am I doing wrong? I'm not doing nothing wrong. I'm just downloading this stuff, and you know how they caught him.
What did they do?
They caught him on he was on using a date app, like a dating app, like a dating for adults app. Okay. And he answered to a girl on the dating app and met her outside of the dating app, and she was under 18.
Oh.
And the FBI caught him on that. And then he fled to Thailand, and they went to pick him up in Thailand. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fucking setup, bro.
So you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about?
They do that with the Chomo.
You see what I'm talking about right there. So when they want to come after you, man, they're gonna come after you, man. They're gonna come after me. They're gonna come after people. And I've seen it done in a communist government, in tyrannical governments. This shit happens all the fucking time, and people go missing. And then when a lot of people start missing, it becomes normalized. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, he just went missing. We all know what happened to him. We all know he ended up in some ditch somewhere. But, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It happens,
Glenn, think about what Tank's been saying. And then this clicks now.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers comes down here and they give him a DUI. You think they would give Tom Brady a DUI if he came down to me to go to Miami? I mean, I know he retired, but to me, he's the GOAT. You think they'd give Tom Brady one? Hell no. You think they give any my boys, the San Francisco, I can never say his name right. Great quarterback, Mahomes. You think they give him a DUI if he came down to Miami? Hell no. But because Rodgers went against it, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Do you see the connection too?
Yeah.
God damn. All
Yeah.
right, you got me.
No,
This is why I wanted to talk to you because I had a lot of questions
Yeah.
for you, and I was like, dang. I know you're busy and shit.
Yeah,
I don't wanna drive you
no.
nuts
It's
and shit
always
like that.
good to talk to you, man. Always good to talk to
And
you.
you have a really great quote, and I want you to elaborate, and then I'll let you get out,
all
and
right.
I'll manipulate you.
No, it's all right, bro. Your time.
It's by Mark Twain. Censorship is telling a man he cannot have a steak because a baby cannot chew on it.
That's right.
As an American, what does that mean to you?
It means that. It means like basically that you cannot, you are not allowed to say something because somebody else is going to get offended. Somebody that you don't fucking know, you know what I'm saying, is going to get offended.
Shout out
You know
to
what I'm
Mark
saying?
Twain.
Oh, Mark Twain is one of the
he's got killer quotes.
He's got amazing quotes. But yeah, man, the truth is, my dad, I got a better quote for you. My dad said to me, a man who cannot speak his mind is not a man. It's a slave.
That's right.
A man who cannot speak his mind is not a man. It's a slave. So
could not agree more.
Even if one of the things I loved about this country before all the shit went to shit is that, and especially if you thought about people from New York, you had, when you talked about people from New York back in the 90s, you would say, okay, how do you know somebody's from New York? Because they had this talk, and not only they talk, they usually they didn't give a fuck what you say or what you thought.
And they tell you, fuck you right to your face.
And that's how you knew they were from New York.
And I liked it.
Yeah.
Because you knew that when they left, they weren't talking shit or whatever else. They just said, you're a fucking asshole.
You're a fucking asshole.
Okay.
No
problem.
Yeah. And
I got no problem with
that. And nowadays, man, you got to walk around shoes with people. When I do these gun shows, one of the amazing things happen. The reason I do the gun shows, not because I'm doing very well, selling a lot, but the reason I do these gun shows, bro, is because I connect with people I never thought would connect otherwise. And some of the people come to me and buy my rifles, man. Certain group of people. I had a Muslim guy buy my rifle, and he's been testing me back and forth. He wants me to build him an AK-47. You know what I'm saying? And nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't see. I judge people by their character, and that's it. How you treat me good, respect. I treat you with respect.
As should everyone.
Right. And next day he comes to the gun show. It was Saturday. Saturday picked up his rifle. Sunday comes in. And I'm very non-political correct. I mean, I called everybody shit. I give everybody shit. He comes in and he looks at me. He gives me a straight look. I don't know if Arabs got that poker face. You know what I'm saying? Like they're looking at you. You know what I mean? You don't know if they're coming or going. He's coming straight at me and he's giving me that poker face. And I don't know if this guy's coming or going. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, this guy might, And
I know
he comes to me. He's like, I saw your stuff. I love it. I'm like, all right, man. He goes, man, I love everything you post, man. I was like, good shit.
See, bro, and now if you would have judged him, right, you would never get to know how he is and what he thinks, right? And there you did.
Right.
And he came and congratulated
Right, exactly, yeah.
Just because he's fucking Muslim doesn't mean shit.
Exactly.
And because they put a stigma on every fucking person that walks.
Exactly. Right? So then there, this last week, 1 week in Orlando, we get a lot of minorities, especially black. And, like I say, I'm sure if you're coming and going, because just because you buy my rifle doesn't mean that you're a Republican. You could be a Democrat buying my rifle. I don't give a fuck. You're putting money on my table. I don't give a fuck. You're putting money on my roof. You're buying a rifle. And as a matter of fact, if you're a Democrat buying my rifle, I even want you to buy a rifle. I love it even more because that way you understand what the right to bear arms is for. So, so he's realizing I need a fucking rifle. So, okay, we're not going to go into the details about that. But I just love when they start opening their mouth And it's just like a fresh. He's like, man, fucking Joe Biden.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
No,
dude.
for real though.
You know what I'm saying?
know?
Like, yeah, it's a good, it's a good feeling, man.
And I wish, I hope whoever listens to this or watches this hear this conversation, because it doesn't matter black, white, purple, pink.
Yeah.
You judge a person by how they treat you.
Exactly.
Right? It don't matter.
Yeah.
And especially if you got a business.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you're fucking green, blue, purple, and have fucking, I don't know. I don't care if you're fucking an alien that came in. Come in.
That's
Come
right.
on.
That's right.
What do you want, alien?
Exactly.
How'd you get here, if you could tell me?
Exactly, Tommy. You know, and as you know, like, you know, the only one I don't give a fuck about his opinion is the one that, you know, it sits on the what do you call it? You know, on the football game, on the bleachers. You know, the one who sits on the bleachers looking at the arena. You know, blaming everything on the person on the arena. I got an English bulldog at home. Where you scroll up, if you scroll up,
they're cool. English bulldogs.
But now I just got this one right here. This is a Belgian Malinois.
Look at that fucker.
She is amazing, dude.
She's quick.
Dude, you gotta listen to the radio. You gotta listen. Wait till
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Do you have time to talk about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Hey, don't run from the Lord.
Yo, she can move.
Excuse me,
sir.
Oh,
bro, she is amazing, bro. So this things are called dragons.
Dragons
or alligators.
Yeah.
They're fast. They jump like literally 100 feet walls.
Like
they climb what do you call it? They climb
What are you doing here with it?
I was just training her. So training her like different things. She's doing all kinds of tricks now. She's staying kneeling, like everything, man. Sitting, yeah, she's just so smart, man. So smart. But yeah, here's her dad. Let me show you her dad. Go up.
Up.
That one right there.
That's her dad?
Yeah, her dad biting me. Watch this video. That's me coming out. Watch this, man.
All right, so talk us through this.
Her father's
people
gunning.
Are listening.
Her father's gunning. Well, I'm wearing a suit, and we're gonna get the dog to bite me, and I'm wearing a jacket, so I'm like safe. But I get to go to roll around on the floor with a 80-pound dog, 80-pound with sharpest teeth, the gator teeth.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, dude, this thing is quick, man. Yeah. So now I dropped to the ground. He didn't drop me. I dropped. I'm trying to teach him. This is called training for training. I'm training him to for protection. Then I wrap my leg around him, make him feel. But the more I do that, the more these dogs bring on their teeth. The more they push in to bite you even more. I'm saying they're amazing. Amazing dogs, man. Amazing. You got to look at their videos, man. Alligators, Belgian Malinois, they're most protective dogs ever. Smart, super smart, climbing walls and shit.
They're fucking. I saw someone the other one, and like I was saying, your dog can jump, boy, and it moves, man. That fucker was moving left, right, like that.
Yeah. They climb a ladder. They literally climb ropes. That dog will climb a rope.
That's badass, bro.
It's freaking crazy, man.
Are they rare? Is that a rare breed?
No, it's not a rare, but they're expensive. If you get it from a good breed, Malinois,
it's not even the fucking right breed.
The way they're breed, the way you appreciate this breed is the way that they are raised, man. That is the most impressive shit. Like the mom, how she raises the babies is like anybody who doesn't understand that, they'll look at me like, why is she biting them? Why is she like abusing them? But that's what the mom, trains them to be warriors, to be like Spartans. You know what I mean? The dogs, like you got to watch the Discovery Channel. Watch how wolves train their puppies. That's exactly.
I watch it.
You know what I'm saying?
I love watching.
And they bite, and they bite them and stuff, and and give them a hard time and shit.
Yeah, and if you watch, I watched on Discovery Channel. If you watch they never go too far.
Yeah, they never go too far.
And it's so amazing that the natural instinct that they have. They know it's the pup. They know it's their children, and they bite to let it know, but not to like hurt it.
Right.
but to prepare to
Yeah,
survive in
exactly.
fucking
For
the wild.
With the wild.
Kind of
Yeah.
like what we're living in right now.
Yeah, and that's exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like a fucking Wild West, every motherfucker. Just turn on the fucking TV tomorrow and let me know how many got whacked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like fucking, might as well just go to the social club.
Man, I can't. Honestly, man, call me whatever you want, but I can't wait for shit to really hit. Like,
very
be
good
the worst.
friend of
I, you know, like everybody's like, man, I don't want this slow death. I want this shit to come hard, come strong. That way we all know where we stand. You know what I'm saying? When guns are outlaw, I'll be an outlaw. You know, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I hope that day because I'll be the best outlaw that ever lived. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm hanging. Me and Glenn are coming with you, boy. You got that Uncle Sam? You got that Uncle Sam stock? Glenn, get the entourage.
Hey,
get
bro,
the 6 kids. Let's go.
Hey, you become president of El Salvador, man. Hey, I'll arm you, bro. You just tell me what you need. You know what I'm saying? we're working with the Brazilians. The Brazilians in Brazil, they love our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's turned out to be a really good deal. You know what I mean? The Brazilians love guns, man. They're getting a lot of guns. And they're selling AR-15s over there.
They're
You know
fucking nuts over there.
Yeah.
Before I went broke, I actually had a driver.
Yeah.
And he was from Brazil. And I didn't know anything about Brazil. And he was telling me all kinds of shit. And then, did you see that fucking guy? I'll let you at it, but after this one.
No, good.
So this the president that actually won, his campaign, Glenn, did you see him? On his campaign, he had strippers around the fucking table.
Yeah.
And he won.
But
before he won, they took a fucking shot at him. They hit him fucking, 3 or 4 times on hollow points.
Yeah.
He lived and he's president. And he won. And bro, listen, the commercials were great. I mean, and these weren't like not beautiful women.
Right.
They were absolutely fucking gorgeous.
Right.
In thong bikinis, and he had two on each side around his desk, you know, president does shit.
Yeah.
Thongs, bikini. I mean, they might as well just been naked.
Right.
And he's sitting there, this is what I'm gonna do, and you know, you can read the closed caption.
Right.
And I mean, pussy all around him.
Right.
He won by a landslide. And whoever he was going up against, he wasn't supposed to beat, but the pussy got him the win.
Right.
So they tried to whack him before he went in.
Right.
But they couldn't kill the fucker.
What the fuck?
How about that? Ask your buddy. We'll tell you all about that shit.
That's some
crazy.
shit, man. That's some shit.
But thank, man. I appreciate your time, man. And please come back, man.
Hey,
I have such a good time, and I learn a lot from you, man.
I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate you, brother. I miss you, man.
I miss you too, man.
I miss you, man. I'm glad you're back and you're doing well, man. And hey, do you remember the coin, right?
Yeah.
Remember the story behind this?
Tell it to me again.
I'm gonna tell you again.
It's been a minute.
You
still have it though. I have it on my dresser.
I know. So
I'll show you when I go.
So this coin, on one side, has got the logo. The other side has got a seal. That seal was first printed on a $20 bill out of Georgia in 1778.
Wow.
It's got the Latin quote, "Nemo me impune lacet," which means you can't provoke me with impunity, or otherwise fuck around and find out.
Oh shit! Let me see it.
Okay. The first people to use that Latin quote were the Scottish. The 2 people that use it today is the 1st and 8th Marines and the law enforcement brigades that buries their dead.
Wow.
And us. And the first rattlesnake, you see that? That was first used in the Continental Marines battle drums when we were fighting the Redcoats in 1776.
See, these things are so cool because
if you look at that seal, if you look at that seal and you Google that seal, 1778 $20 bill out of Georgia, and you find that $20 bill, man, it's like a work of art. Like literally a work of art.
I love shit like this. Yeah. You see that clock?
Yeah.
The wood on, there's only 3 of those clocks made.
You told me. Yeah.
But the wood takes 200 to get that much wood from whatever tree that is. Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Rogan has one and Alex Jones has one. I have the other one.
Yeah.
It takes 200 years to get this much wood.
Wow.
200 years to just get that much wood. And then it's handmade and all this shit.
Wow.
I'm into that, you know, because think of that. That wood on that clock and this. 200 fucking years for that wood.
Yeah.
And the meaning on I'm into that shit,
yeah.
bro.
You can't provoke me with impunity.
And with that's a good way to end it, right? Yeah. Thank you, Tank.
Thank you, brother.
You better come back, or I'm going to buy one from you and point one until you do come back.
I got you, bro.
I need some bodyguards. He's pretty good. I've seen him at the gun range.
I got you, bro. I got you.
All right, Tank. Love you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Love you too, man.
Thank you, brother.